What up, y'all? It's the No Name Podcast. And normally you see William here, but he's on location right now shooting a commercial. So he won't be here, but you got me.
I'm substituting somewhat.
And I'm back.
And
That's
Nick's
what's most
back.
important.
Yes,
So
yes.
And I'm the Latino because you need one Latino in every
We got
podcast.
exactly. Thank you.
we did
thank
need you, but we're happy to have you. I'm Nick Alexander. What's going on, everybody?
Yes. And we have a very special guest.
I introduce myself.
I'll get an intro.
Okay.
So this gentleman here sitting with us is a very, very funny comedian out of the Bronx, New York. He goes with the coin phrase "tangana." He usually raises his pinky, which symbolizes love and dope shit. I've known him for several years. He tours all over the world and is a renowned comedian in his own right. And let's welcome my good friend to the show, Edgar Rivera.
Woo! Yes.
And talking behind the camera, we just call him Ed. Ed gonna be weighing in throughout the show, but he's not seen on camera for religious purposes.
Yeah, I'm just giving some perspective.
There you go.
And we got the most amazing. We got ones and twos over here. We got Nick.
Shalom.
That's right.
Podcast
The
two Nicks.
alternate Nick.
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 Yeah.
So what's going on? How we doing?
What up? Well, we had a great Halloween. If you want to talk about the Halloween.
Yeah,
recap,
let's get into it. Let's
you
recap
know what I'm
Halloween.
saying?
How was yours?
Mine was good. I dressed up as Prince, so I came
I
here
saw the
first,
pictures.
you know. But then one of my cousins had a huge circus party for her birthday.
Wow.
So I came as Prince again, and then the joke was we didn't know that Prince ate churros. Because there's a picture of me eating 3 churros, and I said, "This Prince does."
Who's taking pictures of people eating? That's messed up.
Exactly. So it was fun. Now, did you do anything fun? Did you guys do anything fun?
Well, definition of fun. So I was in New York up until Sunday, actual Halloween day. So New York is LA's rival when it comes to Halloween. Like, it's bananas, like batshit crazy.
Yeah, West Force.
I was in the Village too the Saturday night before I flew out, and like all the freaks was out at night. Like,
Oh man.
We have a whole parade over there.
Big parade. They have a big parade.
Wow.
It goes on to like 4 a.m. Rain, hail, sleet, snow. People gonna be out dressing up, acting a muck, getting drunk. So it gets real
women.
crazy in the city.
Oh wow.
Half naked, lots of half naked. Whether they look good or they not, don't look good. They gonna be half naked.
Half naked.
And then lots of cheeks spreadage. But then I got back to LA. I had a show at the Hollywood Laugh Factory for Chocolate Sundays, and they go all out for Halloween too. So they had like a lot of people, the comics dressed up in costumes. They had a costume contest. They let people come on stage, and you could win a cash prize or whatever like that. My costume was very lazy. I'm not gonna lie. I pretty much had a black T-shirt with overalls, so I could be either two of things. You could just say, "Oh, I had my T-shirt backwards," so you could say crisscross '90s, lazy '90s outfit, because nobody wears overalls anymore. Or you could go Mario's black cousin Blario. That's what I was using. So I was Blario for Halloween.
So who won first prize?
I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know, because I left not too long after my set. I was burnt out. I had jet lag. I had been up all day. I trick or treated with my newborn like hours before that, and then still made it to the show. Even though she's not gonna remember trick or treating around the block.
Yeah.
But yeah, we went to my girl's mom's neighborhood where she grew up, and they trick or treated, and it was pretty much dead. It was like maybe we got candy from like 3 houses out of 15.
Oh wow.
It was and then we called it early, and then I had to get back to LA so I could do my show. But I didn't stay for the contest. I had to go home. I was tired.
Okay.
Anything y'all do for Halloween?
Did you do
Halloween
anything
event?
fun?
Blario. She said Blario.
Yeah, Blario.
When did Halloween change? Remember when we were kids, you would always be like a character, some scary shit. Can we curse?
Yeah, you curse.
Yeah,
Oh,
some
yeah, you
scary
can curse.
shit or whatever. And now people's costumes are getting out of control. Like they'll pick
Oh, yeah.
one random character out of a movie that no one knows. Like Nick, like you saw that costume? He just said fucking black shirt,
what is that?
overalls. What are you? Whatever you want me to be. That's what
Right.
I mean, it could have been a '90s thing, or you just, that's the easy way out, and then I just make up some dumb shit.
I'm glad it's over, man.
But I love the creativity.
It felt like
That's
Halloween
fun,
was like a week long this time.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely longer
It started
now.
Thursday, Friday,
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday.
You don't like it?
I got dressed up this year for the first time since like.
Oh, wow.
Who are you?
I was Thing 1.
thing from Fantastic Four.
I can't say it. I'm a Latino. Thing. The thing one.
Thing.
I was thing one. And it's crazy, man. I'm like, man, I look at these kids and I'm a hater. I'm a hater, man.
You a hater?
I look at kids nowadays going, like when I was little, you know what I was one year? I'm a Latino. My mom used to recycle costumes. One year I was a cowboy ninja. I can't make this shit up.
Right.
One year I was a ninja, and the next year I wanted to be a cowboy, and she made me wear the sword. Anyways, I was like, Mom, it doesn't go.
Yeah. They don't mix.
Hey, did you dress up for Halloween?
Yeah, you know, I actually went to Fright Fest.
You went to a Fright
You
Fest?
went
Oh, look at you. Okay, how was that?
Some of my roommates.
The Six Flags?
Your roommates again?
Yeah.
So Ed got these crazy roommates.
Yeah, he got these
Ed
crazy
had these roommates who are giving him adventures of a lifetime.
Yeah, these girls are great, and they. You know, so let's go.
These girls are great.
Yeah. They took me up there, and I went for the ride. It was awesome.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
What did you just dress up as?
I didn't go dressed. We should have went dressed, but we had planned to go to a party later on, which didn't pan out.
Okay.
We also got back late. But I had a Grim Reaper costume.
You just didn't use it. So next year.
Couldn't use it.
So next year he's gonna be Grim Reaper.
For everyone at home, he just had a green shirt.
Yeah, I dressed up for real. Like 3 years ago, I bought cause I was a fan of the Arrow TV show, the Green Arrow.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I bought a
good
Green
show.
Arrow costume. It looks so fucking run down. I'm like, I spent $99 to look like a fucking dumbass. Like, it just cause it's like on TV, the suit is cool. Like he got the hood and he's got the cool like leather and the way they set up the suit. But like the knockoff when you buy it from Amazon, it don't make you feel like you Arrow. So I was just like, yeah, never again. Like the hood just didn't even come on the same, and then they gave me the little eye thing to wear. It just it didn't work. But I'm waiting till when I get to that place in my career when I got that cosplay money. Like I don't know if you saw like Kevin Hart and Naeem Lynn who was another funny comic who tours with Kevin. So what he did was throw a boomerang themed costume party. So the classic movie Boomerang. And when you really look at like the movie in itself, it does have a lot of like classic wardrobe. So you think about John Witherspoon's coordinate inside, outside, polka dot, whatever suit he had. You think about Eddie's fly suits. There was this one comedian, shout out to Vanessa Graddick. So this is what she did, and you have to really know the movie. So there's a scene in the movie where Eddie takes down this really bad chick played by Layla Rochon, right? She's fine, head, feet. You know, this is Layla in her prime. So when he sleeps with her, though, because he always has like a hang-up, and he finds out that she's got really jacked up feet. And he leaves the bed in the middle of the night just because her feet was messed up when he peeped it after they had sex. And they asked him, why you leave it? He's like, man, her toes was hammer time. So Vanessa Graddick put on the same dress and then had these big-ass like feet to wear to make fun of the feet. The hammer time shit, that shit was hilarious. So, and everybody dressed up like Boomerang. So, like, I want to wait to be able to afford like a makeup person, a costume, because that shit is just too fly. I want to do that stuff. I don't like Halloween when you grown, but you ain't got you got Amazon Prime costume money.
Like Sierra, did you see some of Sierra's
what did she do?
costumes?
She's always pretty good. They dress up.
She did the full TLC, but she was each person, and then she did a whole.
Wait, she was all three members?
Yeah, the way that they constructed it.
The party, she just kept switching.
Well, no, it wasn't a part. It was on her Instagram.
Oh,
so she did each member's outfit, costume, and then but it's her, and then she did the full on video dance.
She got too much free time.
Yeah, that is. I won a costume one year. I almost won a costume party one year. I was a pothead. I went to a discount store and I bought a cooking pot that cost me $14, and I put that thing on my head, and I almost won a contest.
There was a chick at Laugh Factory. She did have the pot over the head, and she had blunts for necklaces and earrings.
She got it from me. My name is Edgar Rivera, and I copyright that shit.
Right. Nick, did you dress up for Halloween? You do any parties? Nah. You low key?
I don't celebrate Halloween.
Boo.
Yeah, I'm tapped out. Yeah, so I haven't celebrated so long. It's almost weird when it comes around because I'm out of tune.
When was the last one you did? If you could share, did you dress up, party? Like how was it?
I was Superman.
Superman.
I might have been 7.
That's when he retired.
That's when he was like.
It was so funny. There was a comic. Rest in peace, my boy Kevin Barnett. He used to have a joke about how like what he hates about Halloween is because he can't be who he wants to be. So it's like. White kids have the freedom to just be whoever, right? But then when you decide to be Wolverine, you Black Wolverine. Like you can't just be Wolverine. You gotta be like Black Wolverine and shit. So
Anyone have a favorite costume that they've ever worn?
I mean, I was probably a Power Ranger like several times over.
Yeah. Like, growing up, Nick was.
That's a good one.
Was a Power Ranger super
I did a red. I did probably was a 1 year red, 1 year black for sure. You know, I did a black one at least. Yeah, I'll probably do it again though.
Oh, that's a good one.
Thinking about it, I do.
White Ranger.
Yeah.
I never did White Ranger.
No, I'm saying now.
Oh
you
yeah,
do
yeah,
White
yeah,
Ranger.
yeah.
You do White Ranger.
Maybe.
No.
Yeah.
Mine was Prince and
pointy hat.
Medusa.
That shit is scary right there.
Right there, the little thing. I did Prince, which I love doing that one.
You did Prince this
and
year?
yeah, I love doing that one. And Medusa was the other one that I loved.
Oh.
Medusa.
That one was
How
good.
extensive was the Medusa costume?
Oh, it was very extensive.
Like, so you go
like
all
the
out.
full on,
Yeah. I got a
But like
budget.
you said, I wish, if I
Yeah.
had celebrity type money like that,
Yeah.
I would go all out.
What would be okay if you could, right? Let's say you have the money. What Halloween theme party, like the way they did Boomerang? What would be your theme if you had the money to throw a party? You know your friends would get dressed up for the occasion. Like what would you throw?
Like a movie
Ooh.
theme?
What what
Movie
movie,
or-
TV show theme, whatever big theme that's popular that you know that you love? What would it be?
Ooh. Wow, that's a good one, man. You can't ask me questions like that, Nick, off the bat. I request all the questions before the podcast, please. I'm a pothead. I would say, man,
Wonder if I would go. Yeah.
I don't know. You guys want
That's
to
a
take a
good
stab at it? Because I'm thinking that my
Sure,
ADD
sure.
That's a
kicked
good
in big
one.
time. That is a good one, man.
You got one, Nick? If you
Nick
could throw
still
Nick
like,
don't even
dress up.
celebrate
if
Halloween.
Nick did dress up,
hypothetically,
did
I have a
dress
Bible
up.
themed party.
hilarious.
You-
I pull
you
up
would. Everybody
I pull up
come in.
as Judas.
Yeah, you gotta wear a Bible character. That's right.
Hilarious.
That's
What
a
would
good
Mary
one.
Magdalene be wearing?
That's a great question.
Samson and Delilah.
They should shoot that in modern
look at,
times. You know what I mean? That'd
right.
be interesting. That'd be interesting. To see.
That
What-
would be.
You know,
Should be a stripper and shit. You know.
Stripper.
All of Solomon's wives.
Does Jesus have to walk into the party with a cross on his back, or like?
They got to be figurative. So if it's 2021, you know what I mean?
Got you.
Maybe
got
a big
you.
ass chain. You know what I mean?
Coming
Just a
in.
big ass chain. On
That
it.
would be a good one.
You gave yours any thought?
I don't know. Maybe like an 80s theme or something.
You got to be, but it has to be a like you can't just say 80s. You got to.
See, I would want to do something like Avatar-ish and have color and just
Whatever it
come
is,
out,
just
like,
but it has to be specific. So Avatar,
probably Avatar. I would
like
say.
the one that James Cameron movie that
Yeah.
we saw. So you do an Avatar.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty.
May
that's
have
pretty.
everybody all
So everybody
decked out.
blue and shit.
Yeah.
If I were to do one, I think I would do a. What would be fun? I think a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme party would be cool because
Oh,
there's
that'd be
classic
interesting. That
costumes
would
and
be cool.
outfits from the show.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In living color.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In the living
Oh,
color.
that would
yeah,
be
we
dope.
were
Oh
just
yeah,
that-
you got
that
the
would
best
be
Because
a
one.
good
I was
one.
trying to think of
You'd
a
be the
show
character.
that had the different
There it is.
characters.
Costumes,
You know,
right?
Just living
Yeah.
color.
Pretty
That's
good.
what I'm saying. People pick like random characters from like a dramatic movie. That
I would
I
I would show up as Anton the junkie.
Oh yeah. I would show up as Homie,
You'd be homie
the clown.
Homie.
Funny. Yeah, no, that's the best one. A
That's
living
dope.
color.
I
That's
was
Fire
thinking something like
Marshal?
that.
Fire Marshal Bill. Oh my god.
That's still my
Mhm.
fave.
Who would keep their face together like that, like
Wanda.
for the whole night?
They'd be like, oh, I know with
Okay,
the teeth.
Yeah, that stuff is extensive. They said, I remember I was reading somewhere, they were talking about like, you know, if a show's popular, they'll always be talked about, a spinoff and something in development, and they were like talks about maybe making a Fire Marshal Bill movie, but they said it would be too much work for Jim to have to keep his mouth like that to be able to like film a whole movie. Like it would be too damaging to like the way he has to keep his jaw with the makeup and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it works with the sketch, but they were trying to figure out how to make something three-dimensional and make it like a film, but it would be too much to make him do that with his mouth. Like
Do you think that would
I don't-
fly? I don't think that would
a
fly.
Fire
to
Marshal
that.
Bill movie. I don't know if you could make a 90-minute Fire Marshal
Fire
Bill
Marshal
movie.
Bill. And
Yeah.
my dad actually worked on A Living Color when I was growing up. And one thing about Jim
Uh-huh.
Carrey,
Commit.
a lot of those characters though, he was on drugs.
Really?
Oh,
So,
yeah.
like a
That's
lot
what
of
he was
times
saying.
when you watch A Living Color and Tommy Davis actually talked about an interview.
Yeah, he had to go to rehab. He
but
was like,
it is the early '90s, so
Yeah.
you know. But a lot of those guys, when we watch those performances and we're so amazed by it, we don't know.
like they was coked
Yeah,
out and
right,
just
that's
feeling
not- yeah.
invincible, and then
Yeah.
doing scenes in
So
front of that
maybe
hot live crowd. I mean, some of them were sober, but
Yeah.
Jim,
Right.
I would assume Jim probably
Yeah, so-
dabbled in some drugs. And
He
we
probably
know about
was.
Tommy.
Because when he did that scene in that
Yeah.
movie, when he came out the hippo's ass, that must have been really, you
Oh.
had to be really high.
Oh
Was it
my
Ace
god.
Ventura?
Yeah,
the Ace Ventura.
one. Oh,
Classic.
Oh
that's
my
a good
god.
one. 50 First Dates.
Oh
would be
yeah.
a good one too. I've seen
The
it.
Adam
I-
Sandler and Drew
yeah,
Barrymore?
Yeah,
that was-
I've
Oh,
seen
that would be a
Yeah,
good
you
one.
can
It
do
has
some
the different
costumes from that
characters
one.
as
Yeah, the
well.
Hawaiian theme.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel you on that one.
Or just
Yeah.
go Hugh Hefner. Playboy.
Oh, Playboy.
Yeah, the
Playboy.
Nah, but
There you
that's
go.
easy because all you gotta do is pull up in the red,
All
In
I gotta do is dress up as Hugh.
and chicks wear the.
And
So you're just
there it is.
inviting girls. You're not
You only
inviting us to
invite
the party.
girls.
I know he's not inviting.
He's
them.
not
Perfect
inviting
party.
us. He just wants 50,
Only
50 white
females.
girls.
Yeah, that's-
Maybe one black chick.
It could be something.
Sprinkled in.
It could be a mix.
Did you ever get to go to the mansion, Nick?
Yeah. Did you ever go to the mansion?
No. My I know some people who went, but by the time I was of age, I heard it was horrible because they never remodeled it. It was built in what, the
okay.
50s, I think.
Where is this Playboy Mansion?
It's in Beverly Hills, right?
It's in
Yeah,
It's in
yeah.
Beverly Hills.
I heard it's not everything is small. You think I guess in the 50s it's a mansion, but in
Mhm.
today's standard it's probably just a big
Yeah,
house.
I think the
They
last
probably built-
era of it where it was like still cool was like 90s, maybe early
Yeah.
2000s, and then it kind of teetered out. Because the
Yeah.
last little bit I remember watching of it where they tried to still make it seem like it was a cool thing to be at was on Entourage, and then that was like probably like the last hoorah.
Yeah.
We could revamp that though. You know, any investors out there, we're taking investment money
What
to
We're
renovate.
what black or Spanish dude could be the new Hugh Hefner?
Me.
At this point,
Yeah.
Ed.
What person-
But
what-
Ed, you don't want to be on
There you
camera.
go,
Ed.
there
You
you
gotta
go.
be for
That
What
would
person
be
can
good- that
step
would be
into
a
those
good one.
shoes?
Yeah.
Who has it like that? If he chose to
Ooh.
do that, Drake could do it when he gets older.
Or Michael B. Jordan. It'd be a toss-up.
I think they'd be mad at Michael
Ooh.
B. Jordan.
Yeah,
Michael B.
it had to be
Jordan.
Drake.
Yeah, I think Drake. We would all expect it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
of course he has a house full of. Or Floyd Mayweather. But he,
Oh yeah, Mayweather, but
Oh,
you know,
he has
Yeah.
something going like that right now in Vegas.
Mayweather chick.
Girls
Yeah.
Collection. Girls
Girls
Collection.
collection, yeah, he's kind of doing that. It's just that his record's a little flawed.
Couple head.
His
Oh,
record.
outside the ring, it's a little spotty. But yeah, he could do it. He has the resources, and he's chilling. He's not like,
I'm trying to think
Yeah.
about the Latino, and I can't even
Yeah,
come
come
up
on,
with
I
it.
was
man.
trying to think of
Mark Anthony. No,
He said Mark Anthony. I don't know. Mark Anthony just
nah.
I mean,
he does.
yeah.
but-
Romeo from Aventura.
Neil Banderas.
Well, technically,
Yeah,
Enrique?
with that heavy accent.
You know what I'm
right?
saying?
Enrique
Come into my house,
Iglesias.
ladies.
Come in.
Come in. Take off your clothes
Come
and just
inside.
hang it right there.
Come inside.
You can tell how many people there's in the house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at all these clothes. Yes, ladies.
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny?
He could definitely do.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
a Playboy guy, like in the Latino.
And still with Bad Bunny, I can still see him a little shy. You know,
Really?
that dude is like real
Oh,
to
he's not- he's a
himself.
shy guy?
He's not like
Yeah.
like out there like that.
What about Enrique Iglesias?
Iglesias? He's
I
quiet.
could see
No,
him,
Pitbull.
but I could see.
Pitbull.
Oh,
Oh,
Pitbull.
Oh yeah,
That's
there
it.
we go.
That's it right there,
Mr.
worldwide.
Worldwide,
Yeah.
Pitbull. That's
Okay.
it.
That's it,
He
right
could,
there.
He could run the Playboy.
I hit it.
a
I
whole
could see
worldwide
that.
assortment of,
Shout out to Pitbull, man.
that'd be nice.
Yeah, I could definitely see that one.
Definitely.
So, we're gonna do our topic of the day.
Sure, let's get into it.
Okay, something I love: conspiracy theories. So, what are some that you guys believe, and are they real or not?
I want to let Ed start this because I feel like
Yes.
Ed will bring a lot
There's
of good
so
conspiracy
many.
theories to the table, so I'll let him kick it off.
What's real?
Yes.
Okay, 100%. And I mean it from a positive point
Uh-huh.
of view, not a negative.
Okay.
But the Illuminati's real, definitely. That's definitely one. But I think,
Wait,
And
wait,
what-
that's a little
what-
broad.
What
broad,
makes
right?
you believe that?
Yeah,
well, there's definitely,
Yeah.
Dude, his
Yeah.
eyes opened up.
Episode 2. I just
Episode-
came back.
He's
Damn. Yeah.
you know,
He came back from Joshua Tree.
Yeah, I
He
got
saw
some-
Well, you on
Yeah.
that shit.
So.
on that bullshit.
Taking that drugs. That was good.
you know, I definitely think
So.
that there's a group of people that are, have their hands together and they're controlling everything. But I think for the most part, the people at the top have some good things that they want to put out, and I think there's bad apples that, have different agendas. But
Okay, can you give us a situation or an event where you feel like the Illuminati was at
That-
place? If you are brave enough.
Yeah.
If you were
let me
brave
see.
enough.
If you're
Okay.
okay with it.
and I don't want to scare anybody, and I don't want to get this video flagged either.
To all,
Okay.
89 of our listeners.
Edit, Nick. No, I'm just kidding.
You know, maybe population control with the last situation. I'm not going to say what it is because it'll,
Oh, okay.
maybe it's good. Maybe we were overpopulating, and they got together and said, you know what, we got to take about 1 million people out. And here it is. Here it
I
is.
love it.
It's the fastest
What did I
way.
tell you?
It's the fastest way.
Yeah.
We're going to get these carbon emissions down to like 0.1% what we need. And, they're
Let's
going
get rid of these pawns.
yeah,
Let's get
let's,
rid of
the
these.
ones that don't want to take the solution,
Mm.
Uh-huh.
let them go. It's okay. You know, I think that was a situation.
And we've lost a few million, right?
Absolutely.
A few
We
million
have.
like that. So
and it probably took our carbon emissions down by a certain percentage, which is what they needed. So I don't want to put it in a negative light, but I'm saying that, you know, there's people there that are thinking, so what do we do? You know, what do we do? You know, the number's a million.
Yeah.
How can we do it? Okay, you know, we got this lab in China. We're going to something, and it's done now.
Something.
It's, you know?
something.
You know?
Why are all these billionaires trying to get to you know, outer space? You know?
I'll tell
What's
you right
going
now.
on? What's going on?
Because they know it's about to happen. We're about to fuck up this planet.
We are the
So
worst thing
Bezos,
that happened to
Basically.
humanity.
So Bezos
Water levels going
and
down.
Musk, they're like, you know what? If we get there first,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we're going to keep these other billionaires behind, and we'll be in control when we get there. That's what I think, you know?
Mhm.
But I think those are two very good guys. I think if they're not pushing the limit, then nobody else will, because, you know, billionaires are a little greedy. But these two guys said, no, I'll put in whatever. You know, get my rocket to the moon, get my rocket to outer space, and then they know 10 years from now, definitely, for sure, they're going to get to Mars, 100%.
10 years from now?
It'll be their business and entities that'll be
I
there
think it'll
first.
happen before.
All right, so
Yeah.
here's my conspiracy theory.
Okay, let's hear yours.
I grew up before not even questioning it if it happened. I honestly didn't really care about it, but I know it was like a part of American history. But the last few years with all these movies that they keep making, and what I just decided to just from watching and seeing how the conversation keeps being brought up about the subject at hand, I really don't think that Lance Armstrong went to the moon in '69.
Oh, the moon movie conspiracy.
Yeah, I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I've been reading
now.
about
I don't
that
believe it.
too.
I don't believe that they went. I feel like they was shot a green screen, and they
Possible.
just sent an empty spaceship and made sure that
pre-recorded it.
Pre-recorded or whatever. So I don't believe we've been outside of the Earth inhibiting on another planet or whatever that's out there in space. And like for them to say that, you know, before we just thought there was 9 planets and now there's like infinite. Yeah. They just don't fucking know. There's no way you can know.
Have you heard the reason why they said they don't go back to the moon?
Nah.
No,
they say that the technology's lost.
Oh, wow.
They lost it on the moon?
No, they say that the technology that was used back then is now antiquated and lost. Like it was never saved. They can't use that technology to keep on going back.
So where do you think they put the American flag?
In Hollywood.
In the studio?
Fox Studio.
Studio.
On the moon lot.
On the moon lot?
The Robles Rocks.
Right, Robles Rocks Studio.
And Agua Dulce.
Yeah, I don't think, I just don't know, like, how can you build something? I mean, I get it. We have airplanes and stuff that flying. Clearly, there's things that can do, they can do stuff, but can you really build something capable of going outside of space and into, like, another whatever? And yeah, we just don't know what's out there. Like, our imagination is great because you see what, you know, comes up with, like, interdimensional travel and galaxies and all that shit like that, but I just don't think we know.
Here's what's really going to freak you out, though. Okay, so you know how they have pictures, right? All right. Now, how do you think they got the pictures back to Earth? Was it transmitted to Earth, or did they, you know, save the recordings on a camera? So I don't think they had the technology to, you know, transmit the signal of pictures. Yeah.
There was a guy out there like this.
You know?
He's all...
But even if they did that, you know, the magnetic field on the Earth would destroy the film footage. Just like how you put a magnet to, like, you know, an old VHS or anything like you put a magnet to it, it destroys the footage.
Can I throw something out there? I used to go back and forth all day
Go
about
ahead,
the
Nick.
moon conspiracy. 100% is fake in my personal opinion.
Okay.
Here's the proof. I always deal with common sense, right?
Okay.
So anytime you got to convince me, that's nonsense.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna deal with common sense. This is the common sense right here. The president called them niggas on the moon.
See?
We can stop right there.
Yeah.
It's 2020.
It's 2020.
It's 2020. My calling still gets fucked up sometimes
Exactly.
if I call certain places.
Yeah, if you
You
got a
telling me-
T-Mobile tower, you ain't getting shit out
You
here.
ain't...
Right.
I was in Calabasas and had no service a half an hour ago.
If you drive through the hills out here, you
You're
can't.
done.
Your service is. So you telling
Done.
me the
Yeah.
president? What's this? We talking about the 50s, 60s?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Picked up a rotary
69.
phone. Picked up a rotary
Yeah, it was
phone
60s.
and called space
No.
and had a conversation with.
Say congratulations.
Maybe
you,
so.
You,
A
you,
rotary
you served
phone.
this country well.
Maybe so. I don't know.
That's a good one. I mean,
I
I
didn't
feel the
even think
same way he
about that
does.
one.
You got a
But
conspiracy.
going
good
back
one, that's a good one.
going back to what you said though, I believe that we have the technology to get out there.
Oh, you do? Okay.
We
Yeah.
do. We have the
Now we do,
Now
for
we
sure.
now
Definitely
we do.
now.
Now we do.
Uh-huh.
But I also believe that we're not the only people in this world.
in the universe.
Oh, yeah.
So do you believe that we're doppelgangers or they're aliens?
In the universe, I'm sorry. In the universe. Okay. I was talking about in Calabasas. Listen.
So do you think they're like alternate Earths where there's like doppelgangers of us, or you think it's like alien forces?
Oh, yeah.
I watch a lot of comic book movies now, so I know about doppelgangers.
Yeah.
You said I can't even say that word. Doppelganger.
Nick's been working on his vocabulary.
Amen.
I don't know. I think that there's aliens out there. There's stuff out there that they keep hiding from us. We're not the only ones out here in the universe.
Right.
Yes.
I said it for Ed again. Universe. We're not the only one. I mean, my uncle, man. I'm from Puerto Rico, and my uncle swears by me, man. Dude, every time he tells me, his eyes tear up and everything. He swears that he saw like a spaceship land on the mountain right in front of his house. He saw the lights come down. It saw it there. It went up and it disappeared. He said no one else saw it but him, but he swears to me that he saw this in Puerto Rico. So when it comes to stuff like that, I think that we're not the only ones out here. And another big, to me, another big conspiracy to me is 9/11.
Oh,
if
that's
you
a
want to
good
get
one.
deep with it, 9/11.
That's a
Take
good
me on
one.
the journey. What do you mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel, and I'm gonna say this shit could come back to haunt me because nowadays everybody's so personal with shit. They'll be like, remember that day he did the podcast? I feel like, I don't know, man. It was just too much. And I'm from New York. I was there when that happened, man. The way those two buildings fell, by just like demolition style, straight down. You know, and there was a documentary that came after that was called Fahrenheit 9/11. Did you ever see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Look for that documentary.
That was a
now.
good
You can't even find
yeah,
it.
you can.
Nowhere.
No, it came out right after too.
Yes.
I remember watching that.
And they show you like videos of like the footage they had as the building was going down. You saw all these little explosions going down. So I don't know. I feel like we, the United States, have something to do with that.
Of course.
We needed a reason to get into Iraq and Afghanistan, and what better reason than that? Like you said, we could lose this many people, but imagine the oil and the power that we're gonna get.
You can buy
exactly
9/11 on YouTube, Edgar.
You sure?
It's very accessible. Yeah,
but they must have released it.
It's $199 to
now
rent.
You're on the Feds list. Go ahead.
It's $199 to rent. $17.95.
Now you messed up, Nick. You just fucking fell for that shit.
Yes.
Next week, Nick is gonna be no. They following me. They following
me.
They
got
me.
I can't get approved for these credit cards anymore.
It's available to watch it. It's not hard to find.
No, but it's not that one. It wasn't Fahrenheit.
It was.
It was another one.
There was another one. But you know, piggybacking on what you said, if you look at the Pentagon, how it was hit, everybody can't find the plane. Where was the plane?
Not only that, the wingspan wasn't.
And the wingspan, when you look at all that stuff, you're like, wait a second.
Some people saying it's a missile.
Maybe somebody,
because you can't. It's crazy. They said a building hit. A plane hit a building in China and it burned for like 36 hours and it never fell.
Yeah.
You know, like, come on, these planes hit those buildings so high up, and for it to fall like that. Yeah. And then, the Twin Towers falling, I could understand. But then how does Building 7 fall? Like, hours later. Like, the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. That had to be something. So it's just weird. 9/11 to me, but you can't tell. The thing with conspiracies is that you can't really tell a lot of people because people look at you like, oh, that's crazy.
They're not open-minded.
Nuts, they're not. Dude, the same way I heard Nick's and I heard the way you described the Illuminati, which by the way was the softest, nicest way I have ever heard anybody talk. There's people out there. Yes, higher up than us.
And I'm just making sure he doesn't come back to him.
You talk to people and people you're like, yo, you crazy. But once in a while you find someone that you could like vibe with and be open and be like, okay, let's talk about this with no judgment, you know? But there's crazy things happening in the world.
There is. I honestly think the aliens part, piggyback on what you said, I believe that.
For sure.
Because I grew up in Arizona, so we had a lot of stuff.
So you've been Area 52 where the military cuts you off if you drive into that?
Some stuff, yeah. So like in 97, we had what everybody calls the Phoenix Lights. And I remember going, what is this? And when you saw it, it was shaped like a V, but it was all these lights. And it was like, it went on for a few hours. And everybody's like, what is this? Like, nobody knew what it was. And the government tried to cover it up. They basically said it was like, it was just our imagination. And it was like flares in the air and stuff. But that's not flares the way that it was. And then it keeps happening now in Phoenix since 97. And that's just Phoenix. So a movie came out in 93 called Fire in the Sky. And it was based off of Walton, who was 22 at the time. And he went with his friends somewhere in northern Arizona. And they were after work. They saw like a spaceship. And they got out. And then he ended up being the one that they took. So he was missing for 5 days. They did a whole lie detector test, everything, and then he showed up 5 days later, and they swear to this day that he was abducted. But that area alone has a lot of stuff, too. So I think there's too many things to let us know that there's other things in the universe, as you say.
These forces are out.
I believe the chupacabra is real. I said it. Edgar Rivera said it. I believe the chupacabra is real.
That is real. Yes, I agree with that.
Hold on, Ada. So you believe in aliens?
Yeah, I do believe that there's something else out there.
What are aliens to you, though?
Aliens? I don't know. They could be walking next to us and we wouldn't even know. Like,
do you think there's like humanoids? Do you think there's reptiles? Do you think there's little green men? Like,
no, I don't think they're little green men. I think their technology and stuff is way sophisticated that they could just duplicate us like a doppelganger and stuff. Like, we wouldn't even know. Because I've actually met people who actually look just like me, and people will be like, hey, I just saw you. I'm like, I wasn't there. They would text me a photo of somebody who literally I'd be like, oh my God, she does look like me. Like, this is kind of creepy.
But they say we all have a twin somewhere.
But it's like, I don't know. I just think that they're probably around, you know?
I kind of put them in the same box as demons and angels. I say they're the same thing, you know?
Interesting.
Because if
demons
you think about
angels?
it, you know.
Yeah.
Angels should have the same kind of technology an alien has. So should demons, you know? So I put them in the same box, you know?
I take lizards for 100.
Wizards.
I don't know, because, you know, that's the crazy thing. Like, how do they know what they look like, you know? Because now you see movies that they got them as lizards. Then you see movies that got them like oversized people and then little, you know, it's like, who comes up with this shit?
Yeah.
Who's the one that said, you know what?
Roswell. Roswell, New Mexico.
There you go.
Well, the Pentagon did release something during
they confirmed
the pandemic. They confirmed it, that it is real stuff. So they slipped it in there, and I was like, wait a second, did I just see that? I was like, this is real. I told you guys it was real. Roswell's real.
Which is why I say that it must be. I mean, the Pentagon will probably, you know, I want to say nice about the Illuminati. I think they want to usher in.
He's all,
you guys, you can't see him in the camera, but he's really humble. He says, you want to be nice to the Illuminati.
He's all, don't show my face. Yeah.
I think eventually they want to say, hey, listen, I think in the future this is what they're going to do. I think they're going to eventually say, hey, listen, aliens are real. You know, they visited a long time ago as angels. And then to make everybody more comfortable. Because I think if you think about it, if everybody's scared of aliens, you know, you kind of put them in danger, you know, because when, you know, if they come down and we're scared of them and they need to like give us a message or something, we might end up killing them. You know, we might end up ganging up on one.
So when you put them
just like Men in Black, you know,
right? When you put them under the guise as angels, it changes the whole perception.
It changes the whole thing, you know. Because think about it. Back then, they see, like, let's say Moses in them. They see something with a highly advanced technology. You know, they don't know what's going on. You know, they may be afraid. Maybe he was the only one that was allowed to talk to God on the mountain. You know, why was it? Because it was dangerous. Was it? You know, was it dangerous for him for all of everybody to see them? So I think now that we know better, then we put them as a classification as aliens, and then in the future, I think the Illuminati will be like, okay, well, listen, you know, it was them the whole time. You know, they were helping through these situations the whole time. Don't be afraid, or else they'll beam us to fucking death. You know,
they'll beam us to death.
All right, we're trying to keep a good relationship here.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know.
Conspiracy theories.
You've heard them. I don't know. If anybody's watching, call in 818-914-4087. Let us know if you know any conspiracy theories, or if you, if you have any conspiracy theories.
Anything you've heard.
That you heard, believe. Oh, caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, I'm sorry. Hold on. What's up, everybody?
What's up?
First off, when you talk about the aliens, more or less, I believe that they're already here. They've been here, and they tell you, and it's like, why are we gonna hide this stuff when nowadays people are gonna sneak up and try to figure shit out? Let's just put it all out there for everybody so everybody can know off the top. So when we do come out, we can say, "Oh, we didn't hide it from you. We told you." You have multiple movies. You have multiple TV shows. We told you what we were doing, but y'all just didn't want to believe it.
The Illuminati.
Yep.
See, I think they want to prepare us.
They're getting us ready for it.
Yeah. So the Illuminati are in cahoots with the aliens?
That's just like yesterday's show 100%. When a caller called and said, "I don't believe in all of this and all of that." And I'm like, but the evidence is right there in your face, and you're going to tell me that the evidence isn't there? So you trying to Donald Trump me?
Exactly, Vern.
What's your name, brother?
It's Vern.
This Vernon.
Hey, how you doing, Vernon?
Nice to hear from you, Vern.
Thank you for calling.
Oh, I'm going to call again.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Vernon. All right.
Shout out to Vern. Thanks for calling. We got some listeners.
He be on it.
If you really think about it, though, you think about the movies in Hollywood, which with the Illuminati, they're the ones really in charge of it, the influence.
Every year we get something.
They want to soften you up. This way, you guys, I think, so that we don't go and kill their, because like the caller said, that they might be here already,
Yeah.
And if they're here already, let's say disguised as humans, it's a simple DNA test or blood test to tell us.
There's a lot of shows.
But nobody's DNA ever comes up alien when they do.
But we don't really
alien
track it.
DNA.
We don't really track it.
Yeah.
We don't really track it like that.
And everything surrounds Roswell, New Mexico. And I tried to go when I was in New Mexico.
Oh, you were gonna go do that rush?
I wanted to go. No, I wasn't doing that rush. I know which rush you're talking about. No, but I was out there, so I said, okay, let me go ahead and see what the big deal is. But they literally have it blocked off. Like, you can't get in any way at all. Like, the military has that on lockdown.
I just noticed you're a fan.
So,
your shirt says Ghost Box.
Oh yeah. That's another.
That
was
She's into the paranormal.
That's a different kind of paranormal.
So, have you ever seen an alien in your lifetime? Have you ever seen something that you thought was
an alien? No, probably not. I mean, I'm sure I probably I probably dated some aliens, but I mean,
it's like Men in Black.
That counts,
Men in Black. Have you ever been
abducted?
No.
The only thing that ever happened to me was when we were doing in the Catholic Church, it's called a confirmation. So they took us out at 17.
Oh, we got a caller.
Oh yeah, let's get the caller. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, yo, what's up? This is Jabari Jones.
Hey, Jabari.
What's up, Jabari?
Sound like William.
Sounds like you all set somewhere.
What it do, though, Ghost Squad?
What up? What up?
Yeah,
what up,
we'll
Jabari
just keep going
Jones?
With
Jabari Jones.
Alias Jabari Jones.
Do you have any conspiracies that you believe, Jabari?
Do I have any conspiracies?
Yeah, any conspiracy theories?
I don't.
Why'd you call, Jabari?
He says, I just want to call and tell all you guys
What's
are
up,
crazy
y'all?
for some of those
we all
nonsense.
crazy up in here. Do you believe in aliens?
Yeah, I believe in aliens. I think y'all are a conspiracy.
What about the Illuminati?
Illuminati? Do you believe in Illuminati?
Oh, they're here.
Hey,
They're
man,
listening.
Illuminati, they be drawing blood in these streets, man.
What about the Chupacabra?
The Chupacabra. Yeah, man, Chupacabra. I seen a little homie running around in Puerto Rico. He was doing his thing, fighting folks and shit.
He was in Puerto Rico, too.
He
That's
was.
the funny thing. He was all over. Puerto Rico.
Texas.
The Chupacabras traveled. He went from Puerto Rico to El Salvador
he
and
be
Mexico.
traveling.
He be traveling.
Who, the Chupacabra? And the one in Puerto Rico does, and one in Mexico
is
that different Spanish.
Yeah.
Where you from? What nationality are you?
Mexican.
You're Mexican? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
So
okay.
it's a different one.
I
We have a
take that-
different
I take that
Chupacabra.
kind of-
Oh my God.
Their Chupacabra work really hard.
Shows up in the most tropical places. How you gonna get bit in a tropical island?
He took a JetBlue flight. Those flights are really
out
cheap.
there.
not JetBlue.
JetBlue.
Better than Spirit.
Hey man, Spirit. Now Spirit, that's a conspiracy. That airline.
Yeah.
That's
You see that?
a flight for
$99,
and then a carry-on bag for $300.
You know what I feel about that whole Chupacabra conspiracy, that after the Chupacabra came out, you notice all the shirts that they would sell. People would wear shirts and shit.
Yeah.
Like, man, a lot of people made money from this, you know, the Chupacabra shirt. I had one of them when I was little.
Yeah. I never heard of
They made
Chupacabra.
shows, they made episodes. Supernatural had
Look
an
at
episode
this.
on
They
it.
will eat like chickens and dogs and goats, whatever animals.
Are those red eyes?
They're
Yeah.
using conspiracies for selling tactics.
That's probably
Conspiracies.
an escaped dog from a spaceship. You know?
Oh,
so you think? Okay, so it's already been here.
Yeah.
For Superman.
Exactly.
So it's already been here.
You know?
Everywhere.
One escape from the spaceship.
This dude says it so convincingly. That looks,
He's the most believable. Edward made me believe that he was he was in communication with God when we were little. Like Edward,
he was.
Like, guys, I gotta go speak to God right now. Let me go to the bathroom real quick.
It's alien dog.
Let me go to the bathroom right quick. Speaking to me.
That's a Chupacabra right there.
Well, thanks
for
calling
in,
Jabari.
I appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
keep it up.
Stay away from the Illuminati, man.
Stay away, from the Chupacabra.
Is that the Mexican Chupacabra?
I think that's the Mexican one. The Mexican one look like more like a human.
It's like, they be creating.
So that's the escaped monkey. You know, it's like, we have a monkey
But
here.
this is,
that was probably the monkey on the ship, and he got free.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
You know?
Even the show
that's
Supernatural had a Chupacabra episode, and theirs was like kind of similar to that one, the human-looking one.
Yeah, there's so many. I mean, no one ever saw it, but like people got glance of it, and that's how they got all these different pictures. Well,
it came after the animals, and then it was the people. And what was that picture, Nick?
This is crazy.
That would look kind of crazy.
That dog is actually a real dog.
Right.
I forget what it's called, but the hairless dog that I was showing on the screen.
That's the Mexican Cholo.
Yeah.
But not that picture.
That one wasn't
Cholo.
it.
Is that a real dog?
Yeah, the Mexican Cholo, that's a real dog.
That's
it's a
a
beautiful
real
dog.
I gotta let the
expensive.
Spanish people
That's a real
okay that
dog.
one. I'm not gonna say that.
It's expensive though.
Yeah.
I
believe you. I believe you.
But that's for I know for sure. That's the anytime you see Egyptian sculptures and stuff, you see that dog in the head. That's the dog.
That's
that they're
the
using.
Aztec.
Yeah, that's the same dog that they're using in Egyptian artwork too.
Nice.
So yeah.
Those
caller.
dogs are.
Here's one that we just witnessed and nobody ever talks about anymore. The raid on the state capitol.
You think that was a conspiracy?
You know why? I think it was a conspiracy. For the simple fact is that was a treasonous act. Mm-hmm. The penalty for that is death or banishment from the country. And nobody that's going to get charged will be charged with treason. They're going to get charged with high-level trespassing or something like that. You're not going to get charged with treason, just like Trump should be charged with treason, but they're not going to do that.
Because he's with the Illuminati, though.
Yeah.
He's with them.
But see, he did something that pissed them off. So he's going to pay. He's going to suffer for it one way or another. They have a way, even though you're trying to be nice about it, I'm finna be real about it. The Illuminati has a way of making you pay for pissing them off. Ask Tupac. Ask Michael Jackson.
Ooh,
and Michael Jackson.
Okay, I'm gonna explain it. I'm gonna explain the Tupac.
Give me the top. Give me the top five.
What about Biggie? Biggie?
Before all of that, Nick, when Tupac first got shot, and he was rapping about you bitch ass niggas was trying to scare me and all this other shit, that was them warning him to shut the fuck up the first time because he was talking out of school the first time. So then he started talking some more, and they said, "Okay, now we're gonna have to make your ass. Now we're gonna have to show you something."
That's fucked up, right?
But
and
it's
he was
true.
influential too.
And everybody and the guy was with him. I forgot his goddamn name, and he was in the car. See, this is the part that doesn't make sense to me.
Suge Knight.
Suge Knight was in the car with Tupac when that car got shot up. These motherfuckers did not use regular guns. They used automatic rifles. Who in the fuck is sitting in a car in a rifle and only get shot 3 times?
Yeah, right. That's true.
Solid point, Vern.
Solid. Vern is winning us over.
Vernon let him
But seriously, if you got if you got 6 people shooting at a car or a truck or whatever you are, and it's not bulletproof, and you mean to tell me I'm the one that's getting shot at, and the drivers only get shot twice?
Well, hey, Vernon, and listen, in all fairness, I seen the video this morning of a young man from Atlanta. His car got shot up 20 times. He didn't get hit one time.
Well,
oh wow!
Jesus was with him,
and the guy shot at him point blank range.
Well, that guy couldn't. That was terrible because that
guy was blind.
Bullshit on him.
That's incredible. Shoot. Dang.
That's the worst shooter in the world.
Thanks, Vern.
Thanks, Vernon.
Shout out to Vernon.
Vernon was 2 for 2 today.
Hey, Vernon was on it.
Thanks,
Without
Vernon.
conspiracy
One
theory,
more
he was
moment
like,
of silence and Vern will call again.
I pulled up the top 10 conspiracy theories.
Okay,
You guys
which
can
ones
just
do you
give me a
have?
yay or nay.
All right.
Okay.
I'm down for that.
9/11?
The 9/11.
Yeah.
Nay.
Unfortunately.
Fake or real? No?
It's fake. It was
I
real.
thought that was real. Like
Real?
a real
Real?
tragedy. A tragic.
It really happened?
No,
Really
no.
happened?
I mean, like, as in, it was a conspiracy behind it.
Conspiracy? Conspiracy?
Yeah.
Conspiracy?
I think it really was irrelevant.
I think it was conspiracy too.
Oh, shit.
You
Vern.
think Osama bin Laden from a cave orchestrated that whole shit, yo?
Not
he
him,
was
but
in on
you know,
it.
his
Nah,
members.
man.
He
Nah.
was in
Can I
it.
say something that's common sense?
It's so crazy to, like,
There was people
ahead,
who fought
say
on the
it.
plane and
Just think about this. Okay. This for the men in here. Everybody has a car, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I ran up to your car with a box, I don't even know what kind of car you have. But if I ran up to your car with a box cutter and told you to get out, are you getting out the car?
No.
say it again.
No.
If I ran up to your car with a box cutter and said, get out the car, it's a robbery. Are you getting out the car?
No.
I'll
'Cause
be
that's
like, how
those,
cute.
That's how those pilots were
box
approached.
cutter.
with box
Yeah,
cutter.
I wouldn't do it.
A box cutter.
I just want, and then second, this the common sense thing is, why would you start a war without an army? That part, like my brother said, Bin Laden running, it just doesn't make sense. Why would you start a
Underground.
war if you don't even have the army to participate in one? It doesn't make sense. So I don't know.
I think our government was definitely part of it.
Yeah,
I know they
think
saved
there
a
was
lot of
thing
money.
That's why I
behind the
think it was,
scenes.
yeah.
There was a thing. There was an
20
event
years.
Stuff
plan.
going in
20
there,
years
yeah.
that war lasted. 20 years.
Tragedy, man.
It's a lot of
you know?
money.
That's
A
a
lot of
lot
money.
of money.
A lot of
A lot
money.
of
you
student
know?
loans could have been.
And look what happened the minute we pulled back.
Yeah.
The minute we pulled out, look what happened. Boom, they took that country right back again. You know, so it's crazy. It was like, if you think about it, some people are saying, man, we just wasted 20 years.
No, they made their money.
All the people that
you know,
died and
fucking, you know,
sacrificed
Like
their
military
lives.
weapons were sold, so
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Where there's war, there's money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
Nick, this one for you.
I agree.
The
What's up?
JFK assassination.
Oh.
that was definitely Illuminati. They hated him.
He
That's why they go there first.
he
He
already
got a little
said-
mad
he
on that
already
one,
said.
right? He's like, oh, let me raise my voice.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it looked like he got his wig pushed back. It looked pretty real to me.
Was it an inside job?
Oh, that kind
That's the
of thing.
conspiracy theory. It was an inside job.
Yeah, I could see that because he was definitely headed towards making like waves for helping black people and other disgraced minorities. So I felt like there was an agenda to get him out of there, and because nobody's been assassinated since.
He was like a
Oh, shit,
political
good
Tupac.
point. Good
He was like a
point.
white Tupac.
That was true.
Damn, he was the last person to be assassinated.
Assassinated, yeah.
But Reagan tried. They tried to assassinate Reagan, right? They
He got
shot
shot
him up.
at.
He got
Yeah.
shot at.
They tried to shoot the Pope, but
Yeah.
not Reagan.
Reagan.
Reagan got shot at.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
He did get
Two
shot
shots.
at.
2 shots. Okay.
I
I don't
agree.
know. I just think that whole Kennedy shit, man, that guy, man, that was a long fucking shot, bro. You know, from if you look at a documentary from where he
They say
supposedly
two, there was
shot
two
him from,
shooters.
the sniper dude. That,
Yeah.
You know, did you see that dude?
He was
who
in
like,
the car and then he just got.
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
They have the video.
Yeah.
That's why they
there's
say
a
there
whole
was
thing.
two shooters. Like when you watch those the documentaries and stuff, that there was 2 shooters.
He was
Yeah.
dead on impact.
So
Yeah, he was dead
I
on
think it
impact.
was yeah.
His wife. She was saying that the first lady. She said his brains were in her hands.
That's traumatizing.
Oh yeah, that was sad.
It was in her hands.
That's
I like the
crazy.
theory with that when they made it work to their advantage in X-Men and Days of Future Past. He was like, Magneto was like, oh, you killed JFK. He's like, I wasn't trying to kill him. I was trying to save him. He was like, he was one of us. He was a mutant? Like,
Oh yeah, I forgot about
they
that.
tried- when they time traveled, it was like, try to use JFK as a plot device.
He was a mutant.
What's next on the list?
What's next?
What else was a conspiracy out there?
Oh,
Nick?
in the top 10.
Let's see.
Nick's top 10.
Well, we got it's some of the obvious ones that we kind of talked about, so I'm trying to get one that's maybe
Tupac and Biggie, they have that?
that's maybe no. Princess. We talked about Princess Diana.
No, what they say?
Princess Diana.
Well, in terms of her death?
Yeah.
Was it a
Alright,
car
I'm
accident or?
Let me tell you something.
Did they get?
That was conspiracy,
Oh,
guys.
Lord, he's going to bring it back.
She
to
was
the
dating. She was dating Dodi Al-Fayed,
Yes.
Egyptian. And white boys don't like that. And he was Muslim. There's UK boys there, they do not like that.
Go, Ed.
That's
Talk
all I
your
gotta
shit.
say.
I like how he gently holds the mic. He goes,
He said him UK boys.
they don't like
Talk your
that.
shit, Ed.
No.
We
No.
know they don't like that. So you know what happened.
The queen
they
didn't
took
like
both
it.
Of, nope. They
Nope.
took both of them. They said, okay, we got something for you.
He said.
They
Ed,
took
man,
both of them.
Ed, a man of wisdom.
Think about it.
That's off-camera Ed right there, y'all.
Off camera ad.
We got to keep his identity
We gotta
safe.
keep him identity still. Protect
From
him at all
Illuminati.
costs. We gotta protect him at all costs.
Yeah.
No disrespect to the Illuminati in the UK. I'm just saying, I know you don't like them.
He doesn't be out looking
That's okay.
outside.
Right? What else?
All right.
Any
All
more
right.
before we move on?
Yeah, we got some more. Hold on.
Yeah.
The Malaysian airline.
I don't know about that one.
That
You don't remember
That's the
Malaysian
plane that
airline?
What was
disappeared.
it?
But I tell you what, Ed, no.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Hey, yo, Ed, do you know right
Malaysian-
before that plane took off, somebody took a picture of it and said, "If you never see me again, this is the plane. This is my flight."
oh man, he
So
knew.
that's interesting.
He got his.
So what do you
Oh,
think
wow.
about the Malaysian airline disappearance?
I think the same thing that's at the Bermuda Triangle shifts from time to time, and it shifted over to that area
This guy's good.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
weapon.
I
That's
feel like
You're good
And
at asking
it-
guy anything.
and went away.
So I'm gonna leave you all fucked
So
up, yo.
sorry.
I'm
My
gonna go
man
home.
read the
Shifted.
Bible twice.
they got
Old
caught in
Old
the
and New
shift.
Testament.
Front to back, King James version.
This
There
guy's
you
good.
go. Let's go. Let's go. No name podcast. Let's
I
go.
like this guy.
He said it shifted during the
It
time.
shifted. It shifts
shifted.
from once in a while.
And it makes things disappear.
Makes things disappear. Makes you see lights. It's a portal.
There you go.
Ooh.
There you
There
have
it
it.
is.
Crack
There it
the
is.
code.
We cracked
Wow.
it. Bermuda
Stranger
Triangle.
Things.
All right,
Yes.
Edgar, here we go.
Manifest.
Chemtrails. Where we at with chemtrails? Do we believe the government is secretly poisoning people through chemtrails, or are they just spraying random clouds in the sky?
Yes.
I can help. I can help.
Uh,
you.
yes.
That's a good one.
Yes, they are.
This dude is ready. He's
I
like,
actually have information.
I don't know, man. I mean, on that one, I got like mixed feelings on it, but they're not good. I think they're definitely spraying something on us. You know, like
Yeah.
how they
Oh,
pop
wow.
out of nowhere. You know, like all these crazy lines in the air. I don't know. I met a guy one time at a Dominican barbershop in the Bronx. You know, there was a Dominican conspiracy theorist. This guy was loud as shit, right? And he was complaining years ago. There was the Dominican Republic got hit with like a month of straight rain. They got flood. I mean, every day it rained for like 30 days. And this guy was complaining, saying that was the government making it rain on Dominican Republic.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow.
And he goes, "You think they don't have the equipment to make it rain?" And he was like,
Yeah.
"You tell me, how is it raining 30 days in Dominican Republic and Haiti don't got 1 day of rain and it's in the same fucking
know.
island?" And you
Yeah.
know, and you hear
Climate.
Me and Ed actually have had talks about
Yes.
this. This is
They can
it's a way
control
to
it.
control the weather. What's
Uh-huh.
the blue? Is the blue?
Well,
What
there
is
was
the-
Project Bluebeam and
Project-
HARP. If you can, just look it up. Illuminati. I'm sorry.
if it's anybody listening that work for that company, can you make it rain out here in LA because we need some rain?
Project Blue.
But if
I've
you
heard.
before you look up all that, look up how cloud formations were made in the past. What they would do is they would take an airplane way up into the sky and salt the atmosphere, which would cause rain. It would cause clouds to come together. That's the old way to do it.
Right.
Cause clouds to come together and would make an area, your specific area, rain. It's called salting clouds. That's an old practice. Now in Haiti and in the Caribbean, they had another practice. What they would do is they would burn vegetation, and it would cause the soot and the smoke to rise up. And then a day later, I think they do this in Puerto Rico also. A day later, it would rain. But because there's salt in the soot.
Right.
All right,
Oh, wow.
chemtrails are the advanced version. Now, when you get into chemtrails and then air pressure can cause heat. Air pressure can cause funnels or spinners. That's what they do. They're controlling it with chemtrails. It's just a more advanced way to do it. With one line, you can make it more directional. That's why you see a trail. You can
That
make
makes sense because I've seen them at night.
Yeah.
And so I would be videotaping. I'm like, why do we have drones? And you see the little chemtrails
Yeah.
at night. So I was videotaping. I'm like, oh, they're getting us, they're infecting us. I was all like,
You don't see it as much now because
You see it at
they're
night.
making the trails thinner and
Yeah.
thinner because they're more concentrated now. So
Interesting.
they
but you can
control.
see the areas. Mm-hmm.
Weather is valuable. It's an asset. So if you can control weather,
Because you can destroy.
You know the crazy
You
thing
can
is,
help.
Oh,
as
wow.
many fires as we have here, how come we don't get fucking rain?
They don't want it to.
Isn't it
They
crazy?
don't want to.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy?
It's the.
Or-
if they wanted to solve the California fire problems, they would just take maybe 2 or 3 huge pipes, drag the water from the ocean and moisten the soil. They can do that easy. That wouldn't cost anything.
But they refuse to.
But they're not
because
interested in that.
Insurance companies gotta get that money when the fire go up.
Yeah.
There's water right here. We have the Pacific right here. If they were interested in keeping that area damp, I mean, they could cause ecological problems too,
Mhm.
but they would just make 3 big pipes, draw the water further into inland, have the water available to put out the fires.
I say make one big ass water pipeline
You
from
can.
the east to west, and there you go. Solves the problem.
Yeah.
You know how much it's crazy how you see these places that get so much rain, and here we are, like damn.
Like
you
we
know?
ain't got no.
And then what happens
Mhm.
in California? Then we get one day of rain, and it's the most dangerous thing that could ever happen to us. And we get
Yeah.
mudslides, and fucking people don't know how to drive,
Yeah.
and it's crazy, man. I don't know. I still
was a lot.
pick this over New York weather
Yeah,
anytime.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
Same
care.
thing. That's why I'm here.
I don't care, bro. I don't
Yeah, weather's
care.
Yeah.
All right.
What was another one?
I got some more. I don't know what order I want to do this in. I'm gonna throw this one to Nick.
Okay.
Oh
shoot. To Nick.
So rigged sports games. This was talking about the New England Patriots, but we've been alive long enough to see several people win championships. So do you think sports are rigged?
Damn.
Ooh.
Yes. Can I take that one, man?
Hey man,
Go ahead.
I just saw that documentary on
Uh-huh.
Netflix, Bad Sports. Have you seen this on
no.
Netflix?
No.
I think it's called Bad Sports,
No,
man.
I'm
Look
gonna
it
have
up,
to watch
Nick, since
this.
you're so good with Netflix. And they talked about the
Really just
controversy
open
YouTube.
in that college basketball game years ago with this kid,
College sports for sure.
Hedrick, whatever his last name was, and how he used to shave points, and they
Uh-huh.
made like this whole scandal on college kids gambling on
Oh,
college
yeah.
games.
Yeah,
And
college
they
all-
sports, I believe it. For
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so you think they don't do it in real?
They did it with
Nah,
AI.
because
Yeah.
the thing is, in the NBA, like guys are getting paid already. In college, the people are working at a disadvantage. So like some kids, they have pressure to do the dive and take money and cash out because they might not have a pro career and they can affect outcomes of games. I don't think the NBA it's as bad. There was an issue with the referee who was dictating games and like calling it unfair. So teams like there was a Tim Donahue. And he disgraced the league because of how he ref games because he was betting on them and he betted on the games that he reffed. So he affected outcomes. But I don't think players are taking dive because it just doesn't benefit them. Like you can play bad if you're on a bad team, but you're putting up stats, you'll get paid anyway. So there's no really reason to throw a game.
So it's
Right.
the higher
Believe
up
it,
people
believe-
throwing
no,
the game.
Yeah, you don't know
I-
if the higher ups are connected
Yeah.
with the refs.
Exactly. No, but
Yeah.
for them, there's no real reason to throw a game. But there's a lot of people out there who
Yeah,
are
you have the owners.
loving for a game to be thrown.
You
You
have the
know.
Yeah,
owners, the
especially if you're
refs,
betting.
management.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Keep
now
the
that
players out in that situation.
Betting is legal now. So
Especially if they catch you on some illegal shit already, that
Yeah.
you're gambling against yourself or knowing that some shit that they could hold against you. Hell yeah, I think they'll make that shit happen.
I don't know.
Yep.
I don't really. There's not really too many like examples where you're thinking I watched this guy like toss a game. You could feel like a guy mentally or emotionally like shut down. Like I've seen that before, where like a great player like like James Harden, he had a really bad Game 7 in the conference finals to go to the NBA Finals, and that's a pivotal game, and he just got taken out of it. But I don't think he purposefully like threw the game so that he could go home. I just think guys mentally just check out because they feel defeated or whatever like that. I just don't feel like there's any real incentive for like a LeBron or when MJ played to really throw a game. Like they can't recoup or make a ton, you know what I'm saying? Because they're already getting paid contract wise off the court. Then MJ was already a gambler, so it didn't even matter. Like he gambled in his own right with other shit. So I just don't think. But college, for sure, cats.
But
cats
I
shave
heard
points or
college
whatever.
they get money now, right?
Now
Yeah,
they
they
just
just
been able to
approved
off
it.
their likeliness, not
So-
the school paying them.
I saw
They
that-
can
I
do
saw that-
endorsements.
I saw this
just proved it.
documentary, and then they were talking about this guy, and one of the guys that got caught in this whole scandal, he actually said it. He goes, "It will happen again. It will happen again." He goes, "That's
Yeah.
why I believe they need to pay these kids." You know?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
why? Because the kids are not
Absolutely.
making money. Now, some kids are scholarship kids or whatever who come from a decent background, so they're not struggling. But then
Right.
the ones who are like coming from the hood and they're just trying to make it to the league or at least trying to get through the 4 years, they might be more hard pressed. Like you know, a lot of guys will sometimes have to go into the draft because they got to take care of their family. Like they might have a parent that's sick or a relative that's sick, so they need that income. And if they're tempted, they might, you know, they're getting groomed from like the AAU circuit where there's guys who are like already got hands in their pockets, like, you know, taking money from companies to wear the sneakers, to endorse the travel team. They're caught up in that shit sometimes even before they're aware of it, you know. So up until the pro level, I definitely believe that cats would, you know, do some shady shit. If
I saw a little league throw a game the other day. I'm telling you, that shit got me so mad.
Yo,
this little kid is getting candy or some shit.
I don't know. You remember the Little League world sensation, DANI Almonte? Remember DANI Almonte?
Dude, look at that scandal. That was a scandal. They said that kid was the Dominican kid had like, it was 11 years old. This kid was like 6'2", 180 pounds. A big kid.
11.
Like
yeah.
Remember
that
kid? He was a phenom.
Remember Danny
Aponte?
Aponte? Is Almonte or Aponte? He was amazing.
Aponte, I think it was Danny Aponte.
Yeah.
That they couldn't figure out. They couldn't get his birth certificate.
Yeah.
Because that's what teams were doing back in the days. You know, you were the best team, Little League fucking championship, and they had this kid that was amazing.
He was like Pedro Martinez.
I wonder what happened to that kid now. I don't know.
Yeah.
I went to high school. When I was in high school, I played, well, I didn't play against him, but Manny Ramirez is playing. That's when he was coming up.
Out of New York.
When he was coming up in New York City, dude, you went to those high school games in Central Park, and you would see thousands of people in Central Park for a high school game because of this one kid. Manny was out of Washington High School in the city.
Yep.
Dude, he had scouts. This dude right from high school. Right, he went right into Cleveland as soon as he got out. Boom, straight in, you know. But that kid was crazy, man.
Yeah.
Well, you know, they used to say that about a lot of the African players that came in the 90s to the NBA.
Yeah. Dikembe was older.
Dikembe, Manute Bol
was older.
Olajuwon. A lot of those guys, like, they didn't have birth certificates.
Yeah.
So they
would just know how old they are.
They would just say
25 killing 19-year-olds.
Smack.
And then they played a long time, too. Like, they all had, like, Hakeem played 15, 18 years. Dikembe played damn near 20 years. He was, like, 44. What shut him down was he fucking tore his Achilles. Like, and then he just okay, you got to retire. Otherwise, he would have kept playing until he was, like, 50.
Was he really 50?
Huh? Someone knows.
Was he really 50?
Do they have Giannis' birth certificate?
They were able to get his because he migrated to Greece.
Caller.
And speaking on you guys
What's up, Vernon?
Vernon is 3 for 3.
A lot of times these kids become the financial hooks of the household.
That's right.
Because they're the ones who have to take care of their parents and probably bring them from the Dominican Republic or Cuba or somewhere to the United States to give them a better life or send them money. So then that puts a lot of stress on the kids, and then you have somebody who will come up and say, hey, you know, you do this just a little bit this way, and I give you this much money, and I help take care of your family. And they go, you know what? Sure, fuck it. So, So, hell yeah, even in the pros, people, they have financial woes that they have to deal with. And you'll have somebody come snaking up, you know, giving them, offering them shit to help them do something better for themselves.
Hey, Vernon.
What's up?
Quick question. Have you think you've ever seen a sporting event, whether it be boxing, basketball, football, baseball, that you think was rigged?
Boxing, yeah. Boxing for sure.
Yeah, they thought boxing.
What fight do you think?
That last fight with that white boy and what the hell is his name? Y'all just talked about him. The short dude that can't read.
Mayweather?
Yeah.
What a description.
That was
nigga that done so many amazing things in his life, and he gets reduced to the short nigga that can't read.
I just saw him read
it. I said, Mayweather?
I saw him read something the other day, too.
And
52-0.
Against the Paul twin?
And here's the thing. Mayweather could have killed that boy, but they don't want him. Because, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing with professional sports. When you have somebody who's not a true professional, who hasn't been in the ring like that, let's say you've been on the circuit, but you haven't been up against somebody of that particular stature, they're going to try to make you look good.
That's a good point. Yeah, they might take a little easy on you. That's a good point.
And it's an exhibition.
Because Mayweather was like, because I know Mayweather at first, when they first brought this to him, Mayweather was like, man, fuck that boy. What the fuck? And they was like, yeah, we'll give you $32 million. He was like, where? Fam, where?
Right.
And then that's when they got together and they got to
last
talking
8
shit.
rounds.
And the boy's brother got to talking shit about Mayweather and all this other bullshit. All that shit was hyped to try to hype up the fight.
When he stole the hat.
He stole the hat. He stole the hat during the weigh-in.
And I'm like, nigga, do you have any idea what this little 5-foot nigga could do to you? But yet you gonna sit up here and tell me this boy can hang with him, and he's not even a professional. Period. He's fought in a few fights. Don't get me wrong. He's fought in a few fights, but he's not a professional.
Yeah,
he's not getting paid millions of dollars to do this.
But you know what counts the most, Vern? The following, man, because that's how this world is run now. Social media, the
that's
big
what
following.
it was. They were trying to get people. The more eyes they got on that, the more money they got.
Oh yeah.
And they got a pay-per-view, so you know they got paid. And that was what, $50 a pop.
What do y'all? I didn't hear nobody bring up. I thought for sure Edgar was going to bring up Seattle. Nobody thought that Seattle, when they lost the Super Bowl, when they threw the ball.
I'm not a sports person, so
they should have ran the football.
Oh, instead of giving it to Marshawn instead of the coach. I don't think the coach is bad.
Sometimes things are just bad decisions.
Yeah.
I just think that they didn't want to let Marshawn be the guy.
Well, that's a conspiracy.
That's
a conspiracy.
You know, in sports,
that was.
They keep talking about Tom Brady and all this other stuff. They don't talk about us in sports, knowing that we dominate and make the sport better than what it is. They don't want to do that. They don't want to take people of color and raise us up to a level where we should already be in the first place. We know we dominate, so why even you keep talking about Tom Brady? Tom Brady is how old? 50-something years old.
He's
he
still
needs to sit his ass down.
No, he's in his 40s. He's still in his 40s.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. Somebody young is not going to give a fuck, and they're going to knock his ass out.
Do you think Tom Brady, some of his championships that were cheating?
Yes, they showed the ball, the inflatable ball.
Is that the one?
Remember, they showed it.
The inflatable ball.
Yes, that was a huge thing.
Here we go.
That doesn't help.
All right.
Grip it better.
Thanks, Vern.
Thanks,
I gotta. I saved the last crazy one for A-Dot, of course.
Oh, Lord.
I don't want to say crazy one, of course, but conspiracy theory. So, A-Dot.
Yeah.
You can lead the charge of this one. Is the Earth flat or round? It seems to be a big thing in the world today in 2021. Shout out to Kyrie Irving. Or it could be, I don't know, you might have a different shape. I don't want to put you in a box, you know.
I don't think it's round.
Uh-oh.
Like, it's flat, I guess.
My friend Andy doesn't think it's round either. He's really into this shit. He was like, dude, it's flat. It's flat. How come we don't fall?
I think because of the gravities.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Right?
So I'm going to say flat.
We fall if it was flat.
You know gravity's a theory.
Flat,
gravity's a theory. It's not a real thing. No one's ever proven gravity. Someone just made that shit up.
Really?
Yeah, it's never been proven.
Yeah.
Gravity.
It's still on theory mode, but it'll be proven. I think.
It's 2021. We're running out of time at this point. So let's go.
All right, yeah, let's move on.
Flat Earth. Everybody?
No, it's round.
No, it's round. It's round. I think it's round too.
I'm with that.
I think it's round.
You're alone on this one, sweetie.
and you and my friend Andy.
And Kyrie.
He said that shit in front of a group of people the other day. Everybody looked at him like, "What the fuck?" And he was so fucking convinced. He's like, "Yeah, it's this." My friend Andy got like it's the biggest conspiracy. Look, let's talk about this dude. He doesn't want to get the vaccine because he feels like in a few years, in like 10, 50 years from now, when his shit all rolls over, his sperm is going to be worth a lot more money because he never put that garbage into his system.
Hey, I haven't heard that.
I didn't think
Isn't
about
that crazy?
I like this guy, though.
Dude,
I think that's interesting,
after he hit us with the whole world being flat, he's hit us with that whole conspiracy. He's going to say, you know how good my sperm is going to be, my blood, not having that shit on my system, and it's good. I'm like...
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's potentially possible.
Shout out to the Illuminati.
Shout out to the Illuminati controlling us.
Yeah, they got to keep the population low. I understand. I'm not upset.
Billions of dollars in stocks that they're getting. Oh, I mean.
Yeah, that too.
What else,
you guys can have the money. It's fine.
Since it's Throwback Thursday, what was your guys' first job, and did you like it or dislike it? I'll go first. Mine was Walmart. And I absolutely loved it.
Really?
I was in high school, and you know how you could do at the time, we could announce like, people that go over the speaker. So I was the one who would just grab the mic. Hey, and today's special is, and then if I saw a friend, hey, what are you guys doing tonight? they're like cut off, but I was in high school. And it was fun.
Yeah, ADHD on the mic.
Yeah,
making announcements.
it was, yeah.
She don't even talk about none of her job descriptions. You
Oh,
notice
yeah,
that
oh,
shit?
yeah,
She's like,
I
I
mean-
worked at Walmart.
Oh,
All I did was like, welcome to Walmart, shoppers. Hey, Carlos, what are you doing after Walmart?
Well, actually, I worked
Discount.
in the pharmacy area, and what I did to all these white people in the pharmacist was I was a B girl at the time. So I pulled out all the music, everything. I did a whole
Dude,
show.
Oh my God.
They were like, what kind of pharmacy person are you? But yeah, it was fun. I had fun.
Notice it was the good job at Walmart.
I
it was
had
the
a good
pharmacy.
one.
I'm gonna go.
How long did that job last?
I was actually there for like 2 years.
Okay.
So
Cool
I stayed.
management. Cool staff.
They didn't get rid of her.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna go last.
All right, yo. My first job was I was a doorman.
Oh,
I was
wow.
a doorman in Brooklyn Heights. It was like as soon as I hit 18, they got me. My uncle got me into this building, and it was cool, man. I mean, I worked the overnight shift, and I will never forget the super. His name was Tom, man, and Tom was old as shit, bro. Tom was like in that building for years, the nastiest person that you could ever imagine. I remember one time this real estate guy came in, and they asked for him, and I called him on the intercom. But you know, like if he spoke to me, everyone could hear the shit in the hallway, you know. So I was like, "Hey Tom, there's some realtor people looking for you. What the fuck do they want?" I was like, "Oh my god, it's time to go fuck themselves." And I'm like, "Oh my!" The person standing right next to me. I was like, "This dude is amazing. I love this dude." But I was a doorman. That was my first job, a doorman in New York City, man.
Oh,
Union?
that
Was
is
Union?
hilarious.
Non-union. Yeah, I was also a scab.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
My first job was a supermarket, Wallbounds. Shout out
Classic
to Wallbounds. You know, it was a great job. I was a cashier.
Did you make nice announcements?
No, I didn't have access to the mic, unfortunately. But no, it was a decent job. It was good. It paid what I needed to pay. Paid my car, the little car I had at the time. It was a decent job. I left though because it wasn't enough money.
Right, at some point.
Yeah.
But it was decent. It was good first job.
So, you know, full disclosure, I've never really held a real job.
Nick has been spoiled. I'm his cousin, so I
Yeah.
can tell you guys.
Okay.
Are you related to this?
Oh,
man.
Nick
Oh,
is
man.
the most spoiled. This
Oh,
guy
my
is so
God.
privileged.
It's
You guys
so
have no
privileged.
I
idea.
have black
Everybody in the
privilege.
family has sent him money. Everyone. With no
That's
question.
a conspiracy right there.
Black privilege. Yeah, it's a weird bubble of black privilege I grew up in.
So, you've never had a job?
I've never held
Nick
I've
has
done,
never had a 9 to 5.
Independent, never held a 9 to 5 or shift jobs.
Oh,
The
wow.
longest I held a job was probably last year. Well, before the pandemic, I worked at an after school. I was an after school counselor, and I did most of the school year before the shutdown. That was the longest period of time I had a job. So the first time I tried to get a job, I didn't last but 3 days. So there was this company that they were recruiting people, and they used to basically knock on people's doors and offer them quote unquote a better electricity rate on whatever, but it's really a scam. So they'll lower your electricity rate for the first month, and then 3 months later that shit will shoot up, and then you have a way higher electric bill, and then by the time you're trying to figure it out, you can't get in touch with them. So it's some real bullshit. But they were
Oh
this
my
guy,
God.
I forgot how he found out about me, and he recruited me. So I go to the office, and I was already weirded out because after the interview he hired me. I'm like, this is not how it's supposed to go. And then he gives people their instructions. He assigns what part of the city you're gonna go to. He gives a big pep rally talk Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, we're gonna go out there. We're gonna go sell. And I'm just this is some dumb shit. I'm not getting pumped to sell these motherfuckers electricity. So my first day on the job, I got sent to Spanish Harlem.
Oh, okay.
So I go to Spanish Harlem, and I'm knocking on fucking black and Spanish people's doors trying to convince them, hey, give me a second to pitch you this bullshit electric rate. Yo, I got so many fucking doors slammed in my face, so many death threats. Yo, you know how embarrassing it is to get your door slammed in by a crackhead? Yo, a crackhead was scratching themselves and said, get the fuck away from me, and then slammed,
and closed this box. She's like, I don't
want this shit. And I didn't make no sales that first day, and he was like, it's good, but I can tell, you say you do comedy, you're funny, you just keep talking to people, you'll get it down. The next day, I go somewhere Flushing, Queens, and this white lady, older white people in these buildings, and they thought I was trying to do some robbery shit, so they threatened to call the cops on me. And then I was just like, yo, I'm not the guy for this job. And he was like, nah, man, you gotta come back. You just gotta keep. I was like, nah, dude, I'm good. I quit before the week was out. But that was the first time I technically got hired to do something, and I was 0 for 2 in both days. Too many doors slammed in my face. I was sweating. It was the summertime, like 90 fucking degrees. You gotta wear like an outfit so you look all proper and presentable and shit. Yeah, I felt
he
miserable.
said outfit.
You was done.
He said,
like, what?
Man, you gotta wear an outfit.
Yeah,
You got me out here wearing an outfit?
I was like, this is dumb. I'm not getting my door slammed in my face. They're like, dude, do you do this? You sit in the office. You chilling. You got to worry about your ego getting bruised.
Nick saw the warning and said, what is your name? Nick Alexander. You're hired. You're hired.
Literally. He
sound
hired
privileged
me,
enough.
before the shit was over. I'm like, this ain't how it's supposed to go.
Oh my God.
He didn't even look at my resume.
You didn't have a resume.
Dude, if I didn't lie on my resume, that shit would be a book.
Right.
Dude, I've had so many damn jobs, bro. Like, I'm the type that if I do something and if I don't like it, then that's it. I'm on to the next one. On to the next one. I've had so many. It's crazy.
Yeah, I've had so many times where I didn't make it through training.
Well, you can tell. You never had a job.
Well, yeah,
Nick, you're just
Like
lazy.
the first time I tried to get a job out here, it was in valet. Shout out to Omar. This is a good comedian friend of mine's kid. So he's like my age, and he worked at a valet at a hotel in Beverly Hills, like off of Wilshire somewhere. So I'm going through the training, and I'm learning my way, learning my ropes, parking the cars, learning how to do the key thing, how they have their like whole little setup. And I'm not doing bad. I'm pretty good. But I tell him, I say, yo, I just can't drive no big cars because I have a big phobia. I can't drive trucks. Don't give me a big car. He's like, yo, at some point you're gonna have to drive a big car. And I'm like, but dude, like I'm telling you, just don't give me a big car. I'll be fine. I can make it through this job. It was good money. I was down to do the hours. It was cool. So it's like my last day of training, right? And the boss dude, because he was running the shift, my boy wasn't running the shift. He was like, all right, Nick, I need you to go get this truck and bring it downstairs. I'm like, nah, fuck.
Oh,
God damn. So they have like roundabouts before you can get back to the lobby. So, I run upstairs, I go to get the key, and it's a big ass fucking like Jeep truck. And on my way down, I had to make like a wide left turn. I didn't give myself enough momentum on the wide turn, so then I hear and then I'm just like, fuck. Do I back out? Do I just keep going and going? I keep going. Rest. I bring it down to the lobby, right? I don't even say shit. This white guy and his family take the Jeep and go. And when they get there, they call him and they say, hey, man, there's like a scratch on my Jeep. And they ask him about it. I was like, it's probably not that big.
It's probably not that big. It was only.
It was like through the whole fucking side, left side. So I tell my boy Omar what happened. He was like, I was like, should I just go home? He was like, yeah, man.
Just go fire yourself. Just fire yourself.
They fired me. They sent me a little check in the mail, whatever, like $30 from that training week. And then I wrote Omar like a big apology because I felt really bad. And I told him, yeah, it wasn't that big, but the shit was fucking huge. And their insurance had to cover it. And because I was like a trainee or whatever, it was like a thing. So I never made it to graduate to valet. So yeah.
I never knew Jeep had a truck.
Sorry, Jeep, whatever. I
never seen a Jeep truck.
I don't know cars either.
He said, it made me get this big ass Jeep truck. And I'm like, a Jeep truck?
It was overwhelming. It was a big ass car.
He said, I could only drive Prius. That's the only ones I could drive. Electric, please. Prius.
Any small cars, medium sized cars I can handle. But as soon as you get into that minivan, Jeep, truck bullshit, it's a wrap.
Done. It was a wrap.
Yeah, it's just a weird phobia. I can't drive big cars.
Oh my God.
I remember when he started driving.
He did.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Started driving?
I didn't get my license till I was 25, so I was ready to move out here.
Oh my God. I was like 25?
Yeah. You don't have to drive in. Well, some people drive in New York, but not everybody. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. All right, that was my throwback.
All right. Nick, what was your first job?
I worked at Target for the first lunch break, and they put me on toys, so I had to restock all the toys and shit from the previous day, and my lunch was at like, I don't know, 2:45, some shit like that. So I'm getting ready to go to lunch, and kids are getting up from school. So this is right here in Woodland Hills. So all these white parents are coming in there, and they're just leaving their kids in the aisle. and they're just going about the fucking store, and the kids are just taking shit off the shelves. And I'm watching this, and I'm like, yo, when I get back from lunch, I gotta put all of this shit. And I was like, no, I'm not. I clocked out, went to lunch. I went right home, put my feet up, and I said, fuck that. I'm gonna find something else to do. I just kept
privileged white kids.
I just never went back. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna do this.
I went to that Target the other day.
Yeah,
They still looking for you. If anyone's seen Nick,
I just bounced, man.
You all clean up on aisle 18.
How long that Target been there?
It's been there for a little minute, right? Yeah, it's been there for a little minute, man. But when I got there, they had just started building up the neighborhood. So they had just put apartment buildings and like luxury buildings.
The ones across the street.
Yeah, it's a bunch of families and shit all of a sudden. So I was just like, I'm not gonna sit here and put up toys for fucking.
And these white kids let Target be there.
And they let them play.
Be there,
yeah, you know, black
recess.
parents, they whoop kids for doing that shit. Yeah. White parents, they just dropped them off and walked away.
They go look at other shit.
And let them just take all of that shit off the shelves and sit on the floor with that shit.
He'd be bad as hell.
They were like,
Look at that.
I would be tired.
Look at the little white boys over there. God.
You probably would have started just doing the shit on your lunch break, like you eating and then putting shit back.
Yeah, I was like, fuck that. Shout out to Target, though, man. They gave me a shot, man. Shout out to them.
They gave me a shot.
They gave me a shot.
You worked 3 hours.
So we had Target, Walmart.
Don't forget to add them to your pension.
Yup. Shout out to Walmart too. Boy. Okay. So since we have Edgar here and he's our special guest, so how did you get into comedy?
Jeez, I got into comedy, like 18 years ago.
Oh wow!
I walked into the legendary Nuyorican Poets Cafe in New York City. Legendary Nuyorican Poets Cafe to see my great friend Angelo Lozada, may he rest in peace. He had a sketch comedy troupe called the Nuyorican Rule.
Okay.
And I was a kid from the Bronx, never exposed to the arts. You know, when you come from a Latino household, you know, the arts are never influenced, you know, like nothing. And I remember I didn't even want to go to the show because I had my brother had gone to a comedy show and they picked him, man, really bad, you know, like they took him to like the Black Bar Association and they sat him in the front and every comedian went in on him. He was like, this is Louis, he's trying to fit in. And he came home really mad, right? And I went to the Nuyorican. I remember I sat in a little corner. And because I remember my brother's story, I said, I'm gonna no one see me, and I sat there. And the minute that show started, that shit changed my life. That was the day that I said, okay, this is what I want to do.
Okay.
So I walked in.
Stand up and they did sketch.
They did stand up. It was like a Saturday Night Live Latino edition. So they did sketch, stand up, news. They did everything.
Wow.
So I walked in there. I went every month. So it was once a month. Every month I was there. Every month. I got to know them real good. Packed. The line would get around the corner. It shows to start at 7. If you weren't online at 5:30, you didn't get in.
Wow.
Oh wow.
That's how powerful the show was.
Packed.
And so I walked in that place, and exactly 1 year later, I got on stage with them for the first time. He gave me my first 5 minutes.
Oh.
Then another year after that.
How'd it go?
Were you nervous?
Hell yeah, I was nervous.
And I was like, how'd it go? How'd your first set go?
Yeah.
It was good. It wasn't on there. My first set was at Stand Up New York, though.
Got you.
Oh, okay.
You know, my first set was at Stand Up New York, and it was fucking, I think I still got the VHS. That shit, you can see my hands shaking like this.
Yeah,
like this. It was so,
shaky.
I look at it now, and I'm like, damn, look at this written material. Like, I used to actually write, hey, how's everybody doing? And all that bullshit when you write.
How's everybody
doing? Listen, man.
Ed was at my first real stand-up show. He went to, I did Gotham. Yeah. Stand-up New York is a good club.
Stand Up New York. So I did that, man, and then shortly after that, he had a lot of good people in his troupe. Selenis Leyva, which is from Orange is the New Black. She was in the sketch comedy troupe, and then eventually everybody started like branching off and like doing their own thing.
She's great.
And then he gave me the night.
Oh,
so
nice.
then I took over the first Wednesday every month for 7 years. I did it.
And you started doing sketches
and
too.
I started doing sketches, and then ever since, man, I mean, I love it. I think stand-up is the best thing that has happened to me. The one true place that I feel myself when I'm up there. It's that one place that they can't take away. You know how people say, I love my job, I hate my job. I say, hell no, I love my job. When I'm on stage and I have that mic, the world could fall apart for all I care. I don't care. I love it. You know, making people laugh. Like I'm making you laugh right now. Look at this.
Absolutely.
And I make him laugh, and I didn't even tell him nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I got into stand up. You know, and I mean, I'm still going at it. You know.
Okay.
Hoping this pandemic and all this shit finishes and we go back to whatever we call
Starting
normal.
the regular.
I don't even know. It's been so long already.
The new normal.
I don't know what the new normal. This has got to be a new normal. I can tell you one thing. This pandemic has made me one lazy motherfucker. I can't do shit, bro. Now I'm outside at 9:30. I was like, oh my god, it's 9:30. I'm like, I'm so tired, man. I don't know. You feel like that? I think this is my age, bro. Look, dude, I'd be like 10 o'clock show. You crazy? Look, dude, I don't know. It made me lazy. This whole pandemic has made me lazy. I think about it twice. Nick called me. Nick will call me like, yo, there's a show tonight. I said, yeah, I don't know, man. It's a big conspiracy theory show on Netflix. I'm going to watch that real quick so I can get ready for your podcast.
I'm going to knock this out.
But that's how I started, man. And thank God to this day, I'm still doing it, man. I love it.
That's good. That's good. Now, how did you guys meet?
So just like if you're in New York, man, you do certain rooms, you see cats over time. I think I met Edgar, might have been at the Laugh Lounge, which is in the Lower East Side. So that was like a black-owned club, or it was this Latin woman owned it. So it was a spot where a lot of black and Latino comedians played for the most part, and then when you're like a black or Hispanic comedian, you don't just do the mainstream rooms. You also do the black circuit. You do the bar shows and stuff like that. So I would see Edgar in rooms outside of comedy clubs, and then mostly like I think it was Laugh Lounge and the club on 42nd Street in Times Square, and Stand Up New York, because you still had ties with Stand Up New York, so you would do certain shows there. I remember used to see you there too, and you just see me over time, and you just kind of like I know Edgar. He was because when I started, he was a guy who was like getting booked on shows. So you're seeing him on the lineups. His name, he's on flyers and stuff like that. So you just keep seeing around, heading off, and we build a relationship from there. We do shows together. Eventually, you might go on the road and like, oh, I'm on a show with him in Jersey or Connecticut. Like that's what's great about New York, is that you'll end up doing a lot of different shows with guys and at various places. Like we've done a big comedy club together, and then we've done some like little Spanish room in the Bronx. And like and it's just two different environments, but like when he's funny, and it just you just.
Now, do you feel you get more love in New York versus LA?
What do you like define by love? What's it like? How you quantify
just the
that?
Atmosphere, like people coming out supporting, or buying tickets, or or is it like the same as LA? Like
nah.
Or is it?
Okay, so here's the thing. I hosted shows, but I haven't produced like a ton amount of shows. Okay. I've done shows in New York that I used to produce like on my birthday or like every now and then. And then in LA, I did do my comedy album here, and I produced a few shows. I felt, for me, I got more people to come out to my LA shows, but I think it's because whenever I did like a birthday thing or whatever, my birthday's in January, so it's hard getting motherfuckers out in the wintertime. Oh yeah. And so when I would do my shows like around those times, I would get a crowd, a little turnout, but I would have to do it in a smaller room. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like more people, like when I say I have shows or I'm promoting my shows or like really hitting people up, they do. I think they come out for me more in LA than New York. But I think from comedians, way more love in New York. Like doing shows and by guys booking me, stuff like that. Like way more love in New York than LA.
I feel opposite.
So it's opposite.
I feel like you get more support in New York. Okay. Out here, to me, it's easier. As weird as that sounds. To performing out here is way easier than it is in New York. That's why I tell comics from out here, you go to New York, it's a whole different beast. You hit a room in Brooklyn, you hit a room, an urban room in the Bronx, those people eat you alive in a heartbeat. Right? Out here, though, I feel like people, they want to support, but they don't want to drive. I feel like out here, like when Nick told me, what's the podcast? He said, Woodland Hills. I said, Woodland Hills? And I'm in Sherman Oaks. But Woodland Hills, like nobody wants to drive. Like that's the hard thing about out here. Like I feel like they don't come out as much because they have the traffic excuse or that's in the other side of town type of thing. As opposed to New York, I'm going to New York now. I'm going next week. I'll be in New York. I'm performing in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and I got people coming from Connecticut. From New York, from the Bronx, that they driving down to Allentown. It's like 2.5 hour drive, 3 hour.
The East Coast,
and they'll come out. They'll come out. Out here, shit. I tell people I'm performing in Bakersfield. You be like, you don't perform by yourself in Bakersfield. Nobody's gonna go out there. You know, that's the only further space I know. I feel, you know.
But you know, like I said, but Edgar, you know, he hosted and produced a lot of shows. Like I only really have, I could still probably count maybe up to like 20 shows, maybe under 20 that I produced. Okay. Edgar, like, you know, in New York, it's like, right, sometimes these guys eventually like produce their own shows or have a room they host, and you know, you deal with bars and budgets. I didn't do that much of that. Like I would just, because I was really trying to like work in the city and or just be a guy who does like spots on shows. So I never took the onus of like hosting my own rooms, building up a fan base in New York and like that kind of thing. So I think that's why I think he benefits more by saying that with New York, because like you really did like a lot of your own shows.
I tell people, man, if anyone listening, man, that you're considering comedy, I tell people that's the first thing I tell an up and coming comic.
Do your own show. Yeah.
Do your own show. You know, my boy Angelo told me the same thing. He goes, do your own show because it keeps you on your toes. You know, I've been doing this for a long time, but I've been doing that urban scene from the very beginning. It's sad. It's a gift and a curse. It's where the money is. The urban scene is where the money is, but the main rooms is where you're gonna get exposed. You know, no one's gonna find me in a hole in a wall in the Bronx and be like, "This is the dude I want on my show." You know, so you gotta do the mainstream shows, but the urban shows are the ones that pay off. I appreciate it because the urban rooms have made me who I am today. You could put me in front of any fucking crowd. I don't give a fuck. You know, I don't care who they are. Trust me, I will go into that crowd and I will fuck up the English language. I will come with my heavy ass accent. I'll talk in Spanish, even though I know they don't speak Spanish. But you know, so the urban rooms made me who I am today. Fearless, you know. So there's a lot of, you know, I have a whole different style. I improvise a lot on stage. I have more fun doing crowd work than stand up sometimes.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of comics will claim that. Like comics
I would tell you, I have more fun. I could go on stage and I could do a half hour and I won't even do one joke.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Just by talking to him, and you. And I remember your names, and from that half hour, we're gonna go back, and it's a good workout. It's great. You know, I was also on Carnival, and on those cruise ships, it's the same thing. You gotta do 5 different half hours, so that made me like a beast too, where I would go up there and challenge myself. There's a lot of comedians that fall on their jokes, you know, that got that set, and okay, you could work a set, but then what happens when your set is not going the way you want it? Now you're drowning on stage and you don't know how to get off. You ever seen that happen? A comedian like who's really uncomfortable, like, oh my God, they're not getting it. And they don't know how to like, stop what you're doing, bro. Stop. And then tell yourself, what the fuck was I thinking? Snap on yourself and people will come around and then hopefully start another way. So I love the crowd work. I have more fun with crowd work than stand up. But when I have to do stand-up, then I like my style is different. If I'm going to talk about whatever specific thing I'm going to talk about, I'm going to ask him a question. So I ask him a question, and no matter what he tells me, I'm going to have a comeback for. But now, whatever he tells me is going to segue me into my joke. So if you've never seen me before, you're going to think like, wow, he just asked him that question, and he went into this whole fucking bit, and he'll be like it seems fresh. Because that's what you want. You want to seem fresh. You want to seem like it's rehearsed, you know? After this pandemic, I've gone in a whole different level where I want to be more personal. I want to open up more about myself. So when I go on stage, I want to show people who I am. You know, at the end of the night, every comedian wants to be funny, but to me, the most important thing is to be memorable. Memorable. That's good. When you finish a show, if you come up to me after a show and someone will come like, oh, you were funny tonight, man, good shit. Yeah, okay, whatever. But if you come up to me and you say, yo, when you said super son, that's those are the feedbacks that I love the most because you remember. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we all want to be funny, but at the same time, I think being memorable is more important. And the more real you keep it with yourself, the deeper you go in with your comedy, the more you can relate with people. That's the way I feel. Like Kevin Hart, when he did that Laugh at My Pain special, that was the best. That to me is one of the best comedy titles ever. Laugh at My Pain, because that's what you're laughing at. You're laughing at my pain. And I tell people when something happens to you, when you could feel like, okay, now I could talk about this. Let's go out there and fucking talk about it.
Super conversational and interactive, funny. And like I said, I've seen him do this in little sexy little Latin rooms in the Bronx, and I've seen him do it in like a comedy club like Carolines or Stand Up New York.
I'm mad. He said sexy little Latin
He
rooms.
said sexy little
like I was up there naked. Like, yeah.
What was the sexy little Latin?
I'm sorry. There was this one room where they used to have nothing but sexy girls in
He
there.
said that shit and I went like this. I was like, alrighty, man. The Illuminati's real.
I met this, you know. They had like the rooms in the Bronx have beautiful Latin women. So I was trying to say, it's just so there's rooms where you know. It's like,
but it's crazy how nowadays, like I feel like after this whole pandemic, I feel like after this pandemic, it's comedy has changed a lot. And it's gonna change a lot. Look at those bullshit Chappelle's going through, and it's like everybody is so sensitive now. I remember when I first started, I could go on stage and I could say whatever I want, and no one would take it personal. You know, as a comedian, I don't expect to please everyone or to get everyone on my side. Of course, there's gonna be people that don't like me. Of course, there's gonna be people that don't find me funny, but I don't care. I don't care because I'm not here to please everyone. But I think now it's just so touchy on what you say and how they come back and they use it against you. Like really everybody got so many fucking feelings now.
You think so? I don't. Well, I don't experience that when I'm on stage. Like when I do my.
Because you never had a job, Nick.
Exactly. I don't experience.
I'm just talking about from like the freedom to talk about whatever I want. Like I have like my set that I'm doing now. Like and my friend who watched me in New York was like, yo, I really enjoyed your shit. Your stuff is like really dark. Some of it is morbid. I'm like talking about uncomfortable shit like concerning my daughter and my relationships and how I've been, you know, personally, and like it's not like conventional, you know, stuff. And I don't feel like I'm restricted. Like I don't feel like, oh, this is too much. I'm too much. Like I sometimes think the outrage is like more online. But like, are you like when you're doing your shows, whatever you're talking about? Do you really feel like people are tightening up about stuff you say?
I feel like I feel like now it's different. Now it's different. Now everybody has an opinion. Everybody has feelings.
But I'm saying like, are you getting challenged a lot like on your shows? Like when you're performing, are you getting resistance?
Personally, I'm a bully on stage, dude. If I get you and you tell me something, dude, I will ride that shit till the wheels fall off. But one thing I do is, as soon as that show is over, I'm going to go up to you, dude. I'm going to make sure I go up to you and I thank you for being a good sport and I thank you for listening. You know, like, there's people that, you going to a comedy show. Fuck you going to go to a comedy show and be all mad for? Like, what's the point, man? We're laughing, you know, and then there's people who appreciate the shit out of it. And be like, wow, that was amazing how you did it. And there's people that come up to me and be like, yo, can you mess with me? Can you mess with me tonight?
Yeah.
And then as crazy as that sounds, I'm going to sit in the front. Yo, pick on me. And I won't. If you come up to me and tell me that, I'm not going to do it because now you're expecting it.
Edgar don't like thirst buckets.
I don't know. No, I won't do it. I want to get the people who are like, oh my God, he's talking to me.
Or the ones that move around, get up out of their seat.
Yeah.
I mean, those are easy targets, but like,
funny.
You know, I did, when I was at Carnival, I started doing family-friendly shows. And in the beginning, it was very hard for me. You know, like I was afraid because sometimes we get into a zone where you're talking, you don't realize you could drop an F-bomb, you could curse.
And you
gotta be super clean.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh my God, this shit is killing me, man, these kids. And now I love it. I love it because kids give you the craziest answers.
Oh, yeah.
So what I started doing was like the same improvise that I would do with the adults, I would do with the kids, without the curse words. Even though a few times. I was that likable. I was on a cruise one time and I said, I'm that fucking good. On a family show. I said this, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, it was a pleasure meeting all you guys, just in case I don't have a job. And no one complained, dude. I thought they were gonna complain. People on the cruise complain about everything because they get free shit. I want a free bottle of champagne. Let me go complain. The comedian hurt my feelings, you know. But no one complained, and that makes you feel good because you want to be likable. I want people like, you know, I want to snap on you, but I don't want you to take it personal like that. And it's not. At the end of the day, it's just a laugh, which is much needed in this time, you know, these fucking days that we're having. I feel like we need more laughter, we need more kindness, we need a lot of things that we forgetting, yo.
Yeah, a lot of comedy.
A lot of comedy.
Oh, yeah.
And to get Nick a job.
Yeah, Nick needs
a job.
Fucking needs a job, yo.
9 to 5.
I'm somewhat booked and busy.
He said, I'm my own boss.
Somewhat booked and busy. Now, do you feel that social media has helped you out as comedians?
I think so because, you know, like you were always in a position where you're doing the work, like creatively, you're trying to write, you're trying to figure your shit out, and you're performing, and you're hopefully kind of like wanting to get discovered or whatever. Like that's what the guys who are, you know, much older in years in comedy had over me. That's what they usually said. But like the internet allows people to find you who you never think could find you. Like just even something as simple as when you do your shows like on an Eventbrite. Like when I did my last night in New York, I produced a show in Soho, and I advertised on Eventbrite, on Instagram, paid a little couple dollars, whatever, because I hear, you know, the promotion helps. And I met somebody who came to the show, like literally she came by herself, and then I talked to her. I was like, oh, how'd you hear about the show? Because I know I for sure didn't know her. Yeah. And she was like, man, I had a couple friends supposed to do some stuff. They flaked out on me. So I went on Eventbrite and I found your show. And my show was called The Black and Brown Comedy Effect. And I basically booked just all black and brown, you know, Latino, Indian, black comics, whatever. That was the lineup. So, you know what, and it appealed to them. So if it wasn't for social media, I wouldn't have 5 more people who support me now, because it was quite a few people who actually bought tickets on Eventbrite for my show. So I like that you have these kinds of outlets. I'm not necessarily like a Instagram comedian. Like I don't do as many skits as the ones who are like really huge do. Yeah. But the times where I felt like having fun and messing around on camera with some friends and doing it, like those videos allow you to like reach more people, because you'll find out like when you really do something that resonates, people will like share it. Like I did like a stupid video making fun of the song. You know, Jocelyn Hernandez, Do It Like It's My B-Day. So I did a skit with my friend where I'm like, we're like bigging each other up. We're like, ow, bitch, you killing it. Yeah, we start doing them voices. And I had the song playing in the background. Yeah. And we just being silly. But the video like got me like mad hits and like a couple of followers, because like friends of mine kept sharing it on their story. And you just wouldn't be able to do that, you know, if you in the 90s, 80s, whatever, the time before the social media era. So I like it. And then, you know, you being able to post and promote your shows, like I couldn't even think about how you could have promoted shows back in the day. Like guys really had to be out on the street in the neighborhoods in which they were performing and pass out flyers, like, and word of mouth, or if they, you know, you get that kind of advertising. And social is just an easier advertising, because you can post your flyer, you can talk into the camera and be personable, all those things that it allows you to do. So I like it. I definitely, you know, it's a machine, and sometimes the machine is hard to keep up with, but I think it's better than what we had before.
On the other hand, I'm going to go against Nick again on this one.
Wow. Wow.
Because I appreciate social media, but I think it's fucking up the game. Ooh, okay. You know, when I came up and I started doing comedy, I got that tough love from like veteran comics that would make me pay my dues and get on stage and do all the mics that I could possibly do before you could get that title of being a comedian. So you had to pay your dues, right? Yeah. I feel like, I agree with promoting yourself and helping you, you know, push yourself and your brand, but at the same time, it's messing up the game where clubs now want to book those comics or the so-called comics that got millions of followers on Instagram or Twitter. You know what I'm saying? So now you got what we call Instagram sensations who do sketch comedy on Instagram but don't have a set but call themselves a comedian.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? And then you got comics who don't
stand up though.
You got comics who don't really mess with the old school comics. Don't really do the social media. They don't care about it. They're not into it like that. So you got those comics that don't care about it, but the clubs are looking for following because that's what they think is gonna bring the seats in or fill in the seats. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's a gift and a curse to me. You know, because it's hard. It's hard. You know, I've had people call me and be like, "Yo, can you get me so and so?" And I'll be like, "Yo, that dude is not a comic." Yeah, man. I like that guy. Can you get me that guy? There was one dude. I'm not even gonna mention his name, but I got in contact with this dude, and he asked me for $20,000.
Oh wow!
$20,000 he asked me to do a show in a sweet Latin spot in the Bronx. I had to say sweet. Wow, I had to say sweet as a callback, Nick. This is Vern. This is Vern again. He's gonna tell me something about my life.
You know, I agree with that wholeheartedly because, like, this has been talked about before. Like, with Speedy and then was talking about it. Like, you got professionals who go up there and they peel the paint off the motherfucker. Yeah. Then you got somebody that come in like, what? You got 5 minutes on Instagram and you think you finna sell out a room? Stop playing.
Yep.
But there are comedians who they have this success with the internet first, and then they do decide to walk the path of stand up and really try to build an act. And like Rennie.
But you're trying to build an act.
Yeah.
Like it takes a long time to actually get an hour show.
Yes,
it does. But it also takes a long time to edit a video. Like I'm not really the most tech savvy person, but that shit is work too. And I don't know how to do that editing shit.
Here's the thing
there's
that
guys
I've
who learn
learned
how to
about
crank
comedy
that stuff
shows
out.
because I've been to a few. You can go to a comedy show, and if one person is bad, that's the person you remember.
For sure, you remember who sucked. Yeah.
Everybody could have peeled the paint off that motherfucker, but you got one person that fuck up the show, and you go, all right, and then they'll come back and tell you, like, I'm not going to them no more because this person fucked up the show.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna leave it, if you're not gonna come back because 1 out of 5 was bad, I mean, that's kind of petty. I think just sometimes.
Yeah, but but that's the person everybody remembers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but
just like if you go to a comedy show and everybody in that motherfucker set that bitch on fire, every time you're going to say, we going to this comedy show, I don't give a fuck what happened. We're going to this comedy show.
It's more about the last guy who goes on. Because if the first guy is trash and then the next 4 are fire, you're not going to remember that the first guy sucked. Because you had a great time pretty much after the first guy was whack.
That's true.
So
that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just saying, you don't have to start with stand-up first. You know what I'm saying? It helps, obviously, because then, you learn how to write, and then that can translate when you're trying to do videos online or whatnot.
But
for the comics that... Hold on.
Sketch,
for the comics that do start and get a following on social media, and the ones that they give a damn to actually learn how to write jokes and learn how to do stand-up instead of stealing or whatever like that, I give them props because it's just as hard to start doing one thing and then learning the other, as opposed to when you're already a viable commodity trying to figure out how do I make this work in this lane where I can kind of reap the benefits of my hard work on the other platform. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
I'm just trying to give them some grace. There's definitely some trash social media comics.
Sketch comedy muscle, that helps too.
Yeah, I just think
because sketch comedy is hard.
Yeah,
sketch is the hardest.
Yeah, I just think that the title comedian is getting thrown around so easily. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's like one like I could do one video and I'm already a comedian, and that's it shouldn't be like that. Like I think people are not respecting the comedy industry where okay you got 100,000 followers on Instagram and you do a couple of corny videos and you call yourself a comedian. No, that's disrespectful, dude. Just because I could change one outlet doesn't make me an electrician. That's exactly what these people are doing. You know.
But if you are,
and there are some who are funny. I'm not gonna say that there are some that are funny, but that's not comedy. That's not stand-up.
I would call them a comedian because if you can execute a sketch, you're technically a performer. And you're a writer and you're a comedic actor. Now you're just not a stand-up comedian, but you're still a comedian because what do we do eventually, right? When we do stand-up, you want to be on television, you want to be on film or a host or a personality. You branch off eventually. They're already branching off. They just haven't conquered the stand-up. So yeah, you can't call them a stand-up, but I would still call somebody like King Batch. I call him a comedian. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but King Batch can't go on stage and do a half hour or an hour set. Yeah, but does he have an hour? Does he have a half-hour set? Does he have jokes?
It takes a while to
well,
you
know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's not ready to put himself out there.
When I started doing comedy, there was a cat in New York called Rich Ramirez. Man, he rest in peace. He was like the godfather for Latino comedians in New York. Right. Richie will call you. You never asked how much you were gonna make. You said Richie said 8 o'clock. You better be there by 8 o'clock, and Richie will pay you whatever he wanted to pay you. But that's how rich he was. And I remember when I first started, I would go to his room when I was like hungry, like up and coming, like just looking for mics. And I would go to his room and be like, yo, Richie, can I get a guest spot? No, the show is booked. And I was like, what a fucking asshole. What an asshole. You don't have to pay me. Like I didn't understand. And then as I got more and more into it, I started producing more and more shows, then I realized what he was doing. And I realized how that was the old school way. You gotta pay your dues. You want to do my show? I have a professional show where I got 3 professional comics. Why should I put you on when you got 5 lousy minutes? Go pay your dues. Go do work those rounds. Make them live, and then you'll come to me. And I didn't understand it. And when I started producing shows, I picked it up from him. So Nick would tell you, I could produce a show, and I'll book you, and you, and that's it. And I made it, and sometimes I would throw the promoters in under the bus and be like, they don't want nobody else. And I did it just to minimize, because it wasn't an open mic. If I had an open mic, then anyone could come. But this is a produced show, you know? So it was different, and I started doing the same thing. So when I did shows, you never saw comics hanging out in my shows. Because they know they weren't going to get it. I mean, yo, dude, someone with a name walk in, I'd be like, all right, cool, you know what? This dude is here. You know, yeah, you want to do a few minutes, but if you start doing that with everyone, then, you know, like, people get bored. I think comedy is great if it's under 2 hours. Hour and a half is beautiful. But when you got a show and they call you a headliner and there's 8 comics before you, dude, you're not a headliner. You just that last motherfucker. That's what you are, man. People get, I don't care how, if you're in a comedy club for 2 hours, sitting there for 2 hours laughing, and then you put me up there, you know how hard I'm going to have to fucking work? Those people get tired. People get tired. They get on the phone. You know, they start looking for shit. You know, it's like they get impatient. And it's not the same anymore.
What I would say when and here's the thing, it's like I'm not saying how Rich went about his shit was wrong. It definitely was effective, and that was a method that guys from his era came up. But what I counter is that the drawbacks in that kind of mentality, how they treat us when we're young comics, is that we don't have any sense of self-worth. Like, our self-worth is so low, and we don't understand how to negotiate our value, because we're just being told, put your head down, go work, don't worry about money, figure the shit out. And then when you get to a stature where you're like, you're good in your profession or whatever like that, you have no business savvy. But where these social media comedians guys knows that when they've built up their value online and then they hosting parties or they hosting shows or whatever like that, they're better, but they know how to negotiate and they know their worth better. And unfortunately, it's like not a Stockholm syndrome, but it's a backwards attitude in a way to tell a comic, yo, don't worry about money or whatever like that. Like, how you gonna tell me not to worry about money? Like, eventually, we have to worry about money. And I get it. When you're not good, it's tough for you to say that. But, like, people don't pay you whether the show is good or bad. They just pay you because they think you're a professional. You know what I mean? So I just felt like when I used to have talks with my friend Nico about this, and it was just like all the time, like, yo, if we weren't told to not think about this, not think about this, and then when we get ready, we don't even know how to act. Like, and you know, guys are hilarious 15-year, 20-year guys, but they have the worst business skills. Like, they do not know how to negotiate their worth. They'll undercut because they'll sacrilege a show for their price to be cheaper, because they're like, oh yeah, why would you pay them that much money? I'll come and do it for that. That's where that shit comes from too, because of the vets telling us don't worry about shit. Like,
but I know a lot of vets. I know a lot of comedians who have been in the game for years, that if they were to fall into that social media and start doing the videos and promote and doing all this shit that these kids are doing, they will blow up in a heartbeat.
It would benefit.
But they're so old school. They don't want to do it. They don't care. Why am I gonna tell people where I'm at every minute? Nobody gives a fuck. You know. And me myself, I'm one of them. I'm one of them myself. I don't have the drive to like record videos. I'll record videos and I'll do stupid shit, but if I got into it more, it will help me tremendously, because I already consider myself a comedian. I already got the funny. You know, so you know what I'm saying? Like for someone like me, if I get into the social media heavily and I promote myself and do it, that will take me to that next level. As opposed to someone who already started and now they want to go back. Okay, now I'm calling myself a comedian. Let me go back over here and learn how to do comedy, because I don't know how to do comedy. And that's what's happening. That's why I say it messes us up.
It's a little, it's backwards.
Because you got people who are booking people who have the following. Well, is he funny? You how many times I've gotten this question? How many followers you got? Sit down with an agent. Sit down. Go out here. Have an agent, but try to get an agent. They'll ask you, "What's your following? How many you got on Twitter? How many you got on Facebook? How many you got this?" That's another thing, man.
Even on casting for actors too, they'll want to know.
Becoming the thing now.
Like, do you have 1 million or do you have 10,000? Like, they literally want to know. And then you see some of them, you're like, they cannot act. Like,
that's why.
I watched the remake of She's All That. They called it He's All That.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And the lead girl who was playing like the part that Freddie Prinze Jr. played in the original. She had 40 million on TikTok, and it was her first movie. And it was such a hit because so many people actually watched it. Now, it doesn't always translate. Some people who are social media stars, it doesn't work when they try to put them on the mediums like that. But, like, in her case, it really fucking worked. So now she got, like, a 3-movie deal with Netflix. And they probably might let her produce or whatever like that. But, like, if she's smart, what she'll just try to do is really seek out and find talented people.
Yeah.
And that's how you could kind of leverage it to make the game fair, because you know that you're only there because of your presence. So now it's up to you to find talent to push and and bring up with you, because
because of the following and stuff. Yeah.
And with the times changing, I feel like Hollywood had this big hype back in the days where you go to the Laugh Factory or you go to the Improv or the Comedy Store, and you might do a show, and there might be somebody in the audience that could pick you up. There might be a scout, a book, an agent, or some shit. They still trying to get away with that. That shit doesn't happen like that no more. No matter, you go to clubs now, man, ain't nobody there. Nobody's looking for that, because you know why? Because they looking on social media. Because that's how they scouting now. They scout right on social media.
Right.
Why should I go sit in a club and watch 10 horrible comics to pray that I get one when I could go on social media and I know exactly, I can see everything. So, like Hollywood is nice. I like Hollywood. I'd rather be, for comedy, I'd rather have New York. I'd rather be in New York. I can make a living off of comedy in New York.
Like a real living.
A real living. I could do 2-3 shows a night. I could work the whole boroughs. I could do the circuit, go away. I could make a living. Out here, it's not. Because Hollywood is still using that hope that, someone could change. Yeah. So you go do a spot at a major club and they want to give you a few bucks, like it's
I
nothing.
I still think it's the traveling thing too, though.
LA is just gas money.
Like gas money, yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah. It would be like, where's the show at?
I want to change the game out here in LA. I'm gonna do a show and I'm gonna pay comics $10.
$10. Exactly.
I went first time I came out here. Check this out. I'm not gonna make this shit up. I did D-Rate shit on Mondays. Spike, when Spike had it on the Improv, More Better Mondays. I did that like 7 years ago when I first came out here for the first time, and they paid me $13. I swear to God, and I had to sign, and I had to put a sign and put my social and all this bullshit for $13. And I still have it somewhere.
Oh my God!
I saved them. I said, "What can you do with $13, yo?"
You can't even buy the food on their menu.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God!
It's crazy.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so today's I'll give you a couple of today's celebrity birthdays. Sean Combs, aka Diddy, or Sean.
Oh, he's calling himself Love, Brother Love now.
Nick, Sean John. He's 52. Ralph Macchio is 60.
Oh, Cobra Kai. Anybody watching Cobra Kai? I fucks with Cobra Kai.
I started watching it.
It's so good. It's cheesy, but it's so good. I can't wait for season 4.
Best show right now on TV is Ted Lasso. Have you seen Ted Lasso?
No.
Nobody seen Ted Lasso in here?
Oh, it's in the Karate Kid universe, but set into the present day.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that one out.
Oh yeah, he's old. Yeah, he was already like almost 30 when the Karate Kids came out.
Oh wow. Yeah. Kathy Griffin is 61.
Okay.
Jeff Probst is 60. And Matthew McConaughey is 52.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
Ralph looks younger than him.
Than Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah, Ralph Macchio.
I don't think he looks.
Matthew McConaughey.
52.
Yeah. How old is
he
McConaughey's
does. 52.
He looks really bad.
60.
He looks. Yeah, I would say Ralph Macchio probably looks a little younger. Yeah.
All right, man. Sorry, Matthew.
But
he said, "Sorry, Matthew." I'm sorry, Matthew. I'm sorry.
No, they ain't gonna do it.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. The No Name Podcast.
Felt like we had to
check us out again.
Some stuff.
Yeah, it was fun.
She's so calm, right? She's
like, theories. Yeah.
We got into it.
So let's go around the room. Say your names. Well, I don't know if you want to say your name because of Illuminati.
Well,
any social media.
Ed, I'll be back.
Yeah. We're gonna keep Ed a mystery.
Dude, you guys are not seeing this, but I'm looking at him because he doesn't have. Every time he talks, he grabs the mic ever so gently. Ed, I'll be back.
He's like, sorry.
We gotta keep Ed intrigued.
We gotta keep
Hashtag Ed Illuminati is alive.
We gotta keep him hidden.
Yo, so my name is Edgar Rivera. Follow me, Edgar Rivera Comedy, on everything. Edgar Rivera Comedy.
You got
Check
any
it out.
shows coming up?
I got a few shows out here, and I got a new podcast out called
nice.
Brothers in Arms TV, and it's something different.
Very good.
It's not comedy. It's to bring awareness to the fact that men need to talk more. I feel like we talk a lot of shit, but we don't talk about what's inside and connect with our emotions. So I got something nice, man. So check it out, brothersinarms.tv, and yeah, man, follow me. And if you follow me, you got to request me because I'm private because I have stalkers. So if you follow me watching this show and you're following me right now, send me a message and let's write something on that message so we can know that I know you're real. So let's just write.
Private for a public figure.
Ed Illuminati. And if you send me a message that says Ed Illuminati, I know you're real and I will definitely accept you, yo.
Hey guys, this is Nick Alexander. If you guys are in the Burbank area, Saturday I'll be performing at Flappers Comedy Club. It's an early show. It's at 5 o'clock, so you definitely can come to the show, and then you still have time to go get dinner and go to bed early. 5 o'clock I'm at Flappers Saturday afternoon. You can follow me at Nick of Comedy, NICKOFCOMEDY. All things social media, and just stay up with what I got going on.
There it is. And I'm A-Dot at A-Dot Laughs, ADOTLAUGHS. You can always catch me there or catch me here at Rollout Digital or doing something.
She sounds like she's hosting a midnight show. Yeah. Hi, this is A-Dot.
A-Dot.
I am wearing nothing right now.
That's on Freaky Fridays. Here. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Peace.
Like, comment, and subscribe, y'all. Yep. Like, comment, and subscribe.
And shout out to Nick.
William will be back next week.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to William.
Yeah, shout out to
Doing
William.
his acting
AKA, what was his AKA name?
James Jerome.
Yeah.
That horrible attempt at a southern nigga. We're going to talk about that, but
at least he picked a dark name, though.
At least,
I know.
He did pick a dark skin name.
Yeah, I thought something to that.
But yeah, we'll be back next week.